Max Crosby added to the injury report. He was limited on Thursday with a sore knee. Last week, Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen had 6 total touchdowns. However, last night down in Houston, Allen under attack by the Texans defense.
Allen drops to throw. Pressure comes off his back foot. Throws, and it's intercepted. Diving pick by Kalen Bullock. The Texans take it over with the interception from Bullock on 4th down. And the best defense in the league delivers in the biggest moment.
That courtesy NFL was one heard right here on 92.3 The Fan. Texans win it 23-19. Houston defense sacking Allen 8 times as the Texans win their 3rd in a row. You can now find 92.3 The Fan on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Get the best content from our shows each and every weekday. That's 92.3 The Fan on YouTube. Headline sports news every 20 minutes right here on 92.3 The Fan. From the University Hospital Sports Desk, I'm Jeff Thomas. Up next, time for the Ken Carman Show with Anthony Lima here on 92.3 The Fan.
Based on what I know, I think that their intention was to redshirt him this year and maybe get a look at him at the end of the year. Again, I think if anybody's expecting some miracle, I don't know what to tell you. What are we going on? Draft position, the NFL told you what they thought. I'm struggling to see exactly what people are wrapping their arms around right now.
Listen for the MMQB's Albert Breer, Tuesdays at 5:20 on Cleveland's Sports Radio, 92.3 The Fan. The Ken Carman Show with Anthony Lima.
You want to make your quarterback comfortable. You want to call plays. You want to put in plays that breathe confidence into them as they hear them, as they call them, plays that they know they can make work. And then you press the guys around them to raise their level of play and play well to continue to breathe confidence into young players and into young quarterbacks. So that's really been the motivation this week moving forward.
Help us win. That wins the end of the day is all that matters for our group. So for Shador, for any player, do your job, play your role so you can help this team get a victory.
His mental work this week, he's been prepping hard. He's been doing some extra walkthroughs and getting understanding. He wants to perform well. We want to perform well for him. But I think he's going to have a better grasp of what we're trying to do on offense. And, hopefully that translates to some good drives, some sustained drives, some points scored. It's kind of what we're looking for.
This is Cleveland's Sports Radio, 92.3 The Fan.
Audio courtesy of the UH Browns Radio Network. It's time. It's time to get excited. Good morning.
I've been excited all week for Sunday.
I've been nervous.
Oh, yes, you have.
I'm still nervous. It's time to turn that nervous energy into excitement. It's time to get going. It's time to get going. I want it more than I've wanted a lot of things in sports in a long time. I'm telling you. I want it so bad.
You ready to strike up the band on it?
Oh, I tweeted back at somebody, and I'm dead serious about this. If he plays well and they win on Sunday, it's going to be a playoff atmosphere in here Monday morning. At least with me. I'm telling you guys right now, that's a solemn promise from me. If he plays well, considering they had 3 days of practice, including today, they'll have had 3 days of practice to get him ready. You got Jerry Jeudy was not very thrilled on Wednesday. I don't know what it was. Hopefully he's having a better day today. We all have bad days. I just wish he wouldn't have spoken and maybe he would have waited till today or yesterday to speak. Man, who knows? You got that going on. Everybody has had this discussion. He is the most popular, but in turn polarizing rookie out there in this class. And if he plays well, and they win this football game, the guys, I'm not going to set anything on fire because they're 2-8 and they'd be 3-8, and it's the regular season, and we're still probably not going anywhere because we're probably too far in the hole. But Monday's going to be a celebration. I'm telling you that right now. I'm going to celebrate my ass off on Monday morning.
I'm looking to see what other quarterbacks have done against them because their passing defense technically is way better than Baltimore's, believe it or not. Did you know that coming in, Kenny? I know you're a statistical maven.
I am not as much of a statistical maven as you. That would be, Nathan joins us at 9. Yeah. He takes us inside the numbers during Brown's pregame.
He's a statistical Nathan.
Yeah.
But Marcus Mariota was 15 of 21 against them for 207 yards.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Can Shador be as good as Marcus Mariota?
Yes.
Right now, I bet he's hoping to have a Marcus Mariota career.
Career?
Yeah. That means he's stuck around. He's not out of the league in a few years.
Okay, that's all right. I see your point. For a second, you're comparing him to Marcus Mariota. I go, come on.
Now, Bo Nix, 16 of 28, 150 yards, one touchdown, 2 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
So that was not good.
No, it wasn't.
Can he have a better performance than Bo Nix had?
What about? Okay, give me those numbers again.
It was not. I'm off that one.
Doggone. Okay,
it wasn't good.
We're moving on.
Trevor Lawrence, 23 of 34, 220 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception.
Did they win? Did Jacksonville win the game?
Yes, 30-29.
I'll take that.
Okay.
Oh, that took a 68-yard field goal.
It's hard to throw touchdown passes with this team. I'll take that.
Dak Prescott dominated against them, and you just saw that on Monday night.
Well, Dak Prescott's a really good quarterback.
25 of 33, threw 4 touchdowns, 268 yards.
You see that. Somebody did a side-by-side a couple years ago in a camp with him and Trey Lance. Might have been last year. And how he just boom, boom, boom through the progression. It's really impressive to see him from the end zone cam do that. And you don't, well, it's like, well, he's a franchise quarterback. It's like, well, yeah, but at one point he was a 4th-round pick. And then you go, oh, that's why he's him. Okay. Like, you can see, like, there's his feet stay, boom, 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 hit it, end zone, touchdown. That's the way it works. Sorry, I don't mean to turn into a Dak Prescott conversation, but if he goes Dak Prescott, I'll probably just have a heart attack and die from excitement before I even get a chance to come in here. So
yeah, I'm not of the. I've already seen people who they must really hate Shedeur because they're already like, you guys are going to celebrate if they beat the Raiders, or if he looks good.
That's what I'm going to do.
Or even if they lose and he looks good against the Raiders.
Yeah.
Now I'll acknowledge. Yeah, I'm not expecting that against better teams.
Okay. I'm not. If he plays well, all right. If he plays well and they win, I may cool off by Wednesday because we got the holiday coming up. I may cool off by Wednesday. If they play well and win, I understand it's like, well, it's one game, and even other guys who are career backups, they end up having good first games. All right, fine. We'll see what he does against other. But I'm serious. If he goes out there and he plays well, it's like, okay, I'm going to give Kevin Stefanski and Tommy Rees their credit, and I'm certainly going to give Shedeur his credit. If I was going to do a power ranking of the credit, I'd give Shedeur his credit, then I'd give the other two their credit. Oh, we don't need to do it. I already did it.
Now, would you have been just as excited?
If you don't have the music.
Oh, true.
Would you have been just as excited if Dylan Gabriel had the exact same performance against the Raiders?
No, because I don't think his ceiling is as big.
Oh, at least you admit it.
I'm being honest. I've said from the very beginning.
You're not being a fair broker of the quarterback evaluation because you've made up your mind on Dylan.
I have. We all have preconceived notions. This is true. I can try to be as open-minded as I can, and I try, but we all have little things that we want a confirmation bias on. I'm willing to admit that. I would think that you would think that's pretty healthy. I have a confirmation bias, and I think that Shedeur Sanders has a higher ceiling than Dylan Gabriel. Now, one guy might have a higher floor, and that might be Dylan Gabriel. Like, just, hey, let's run the offense and get out of here, and hopefully our starting quarterback will be back in a couple of weeks. But I think that Shedeur has a higher ceiling. If Shedeur goes out there and plays well and they win, it's going to be hard for me to not turn this into a playoff atmosphere. I'm sorry. Some of you guys who really don't like Shedeur and really don't like the conversation about Shedeur, I shouldn't do this. I don't know if you guys are going to really enjoy Monday morning because I'm going to be going nuts. I'm just going to be going nuts.
Yeah, you do have to tell new listeners. We get new listeners every single day. You got to tell them that you're easily excitable.
Yeah. Oh, I'm very excited.
So this could be fleeting. Like, this could be really excited today, and then by the end of the year, you're like,
I'm an emotional guy.
We got to go in another direction.
I'm an emotional guy. And maybe by the end of but I will think it's such a huge thing because I still think it's the NFL.
Do you feel like you're being honest to the listener?
Yes.
These new listeners?
Yes.
Like, if you act like it's the Super Bowl, because you're basically saying you're going to come on Monday.
I'll say playoffs, not Super Bowl.
Okay. You're acting like it's a playoff win. But when they play San Francisco, Chicago, Buffalo will need it now. My God. Pittsburgh will need it.
Yes.
At the end of the year, and they make them look really bad, will you then admit, okay, maybe I got a little carried away?
Of course I will. Yes.
So, but you don't have the ability to do that in the moment.
No.
So there will be no perspective provided with Monday's show,
guys.
It'll be a no perspective Monday.
There's
is
4
what
hours.
You're saying.
There's 4 hours. There will be perspective, but at 6:03,
guy to say that?
if you think it's 6:03, I'm going to well, he did this right and he did that wrong, but he did these things right. And I liked how he did this and that and the other. And it was a fine, solid performance by a fine young man. And now let's get ready for the San Francisco 49ers. I'm sorry, you guys want that? That's 10:01 a.m. That ain't 6:01 a.m. I ain't going to do it. I'm going to be pretty damn excited. I'm going to fire up Michael Stanley, and I'm going to go nuts.
Is the only thing that matters is that they win?
I would say 90% of it.
Like if he throws 3 interceptions, but you get defense, special teams, and Shedeur didn't really do all that much, and they win.
I think like that team is not good. They're not good. But your defense, you've played against not good teams, and your defense has done what it takes to win football games, and you found ways to, again, the Jets are terrible, and you found a way to lose that game, and your offense still wasn't very good either. And, the Ravens, I think the Ravens, they won, 4 in a row, 5 in a row at that point, 4 in a row, 3 in a row going into it. Now they've won 4 in a row. Beg your pardon. I think that they were kind of ready to lose. It was on the road. It's tough to win that many games in a row in the NFL. That's why we kind of marvel at New England. I think that in so many ways, they kind of played like they were ready to lose. And you get the ball at the 6-yard line, you ain't able to get that ball into the end zone. I'm going to have a major problem with that. So your offense is really, really rough. I think you'd have to have, again, another superhuman defensive performance. And I think you've already had that to win a football game against a good team in Green Bay.
Was some of your optimism,
I don't think it happens again,
or whatever you're calling your feelings, because
exuberance.
At the start of the week, you're like, oh my God, this is not going to go well.
Wednesday, I said it's not going to go well.
Okay.
And I still think there's a lot stacked against them. Well, I don't think it's really going to go well.
When you heard Joe Bitonio yesterday trying to hope we scrap together a couple drives, did you get a little nervous hearing that?
You remember what I said about confirmation bias? There's good and bad confirmation bias. And it was confirmation bias in a very bad way. Here's Joel.
His mental work this week, he's been prepping hard. He's been doing some extra walkthroughs and getting understanding. He wants to perform well. We want to perform well for him. But I think he's going to have a better grasp of what we're trying to do on offense. And, hopefully that translates to some good drives, some sustaining drives, some points scored. That's kind of what we're looking for.
So, couple drives here, couple drives there.
Honestly, all it is, I'm not asking for the world. If he puts together 2 touchdown drives to get 14, and you can give me 2 more field goals, get me to 20, I think you win the game. Think about it. You score on 4 drives. Get a turnover. And I'm not saying they have to be 75-yard and 12-play drives. You can get a turnover at the 30-yard line. Turn that into a field goal. Get me something else. You score 20 points. I think it could very well be the first team to 20 wins. I'm not asking for much. But it turns out I'm asking for the world. That's how you know it's a Brown season. When you ask for 20 points in a football game and there's people going, Kenny, you're crazy. That's a Brown season, friend. That's what we're here for. Cleveland Browns football. I'm already excited. Please, young man. Please put it together. Owen is laughing his ass off at how pathetic I sound right now.
Oh, you should see the comments.
And I know it's true. I understand the comments. I get where you guys are at. But we're in this together, everybody. So you might as well put a smiling face on this thing and get ready for Sunday. Because it's my Super Bowl. It should all be all our Super Bowls because this is where it's at, guys. This is your last hope. This year at that position.
I'm nervous,
so you better circle the wagons and let's get going.
I'm nervous that Kenny is putting too much into this game, and if it goes the other way, we will have lost Kenny for the year.
You may have, and you may do it. You may. But I'm going to put it all in on this game. Folks, 4:05. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to sound like Marty Schottenheimer in my office. I'm going to sound like the 85 Bears defensive coordinator, Buddy Ryan, in my office. I'm going to sound like them all. Think about every pregame. You got to get it done. No, you can do it. You can get it done because you got to get it done. I need you. I need you more than I've needed you in a long time. I can't just let this season wash over me. Please, no. Young man, go out there and get it. You want to be legendary? Go out there and do it. I need it. I need it bad.
Are you worried, Owen? Are you worried, Owen?
Don't be worried.
We are a Brookside kindergarten class away from having an epic Friday morning.
No, I'm not going to guarantee a damn thing.
Are you worried he's putting a little too much pressure on the kid? Because that's what it sounds like.
No,
I mean, Ken's entire life seems at stake here, and his excitement about football seems.
You just made me turn off Michael.
I'm a little worried,
I'm gonna
Kenny.
have to drive out to Lakeview and apologize.
I'm a little worried that you started putting all this in your mind, and now if it goes anything but that, I don't even know if you show up on Monday. Now.
Why wouldn't I show up on Monday?
Did you just hear yourself?
So?
I've never heard you build up a game. You didn't build the Chiefs playoff game to this level when we had Baker.
Oh, yes, I did.
No, not like this.
Yes, I did.
You just made that.
Oh,
you said
drunken buffoon.
You said
yes, I have.
You said that you're making this out to be a playoff game. You just sounded like this was the Super Bowl for Ken Carman.
I'm worried for this year. This is my Super Bowl.
I'm worried for your kids.
No, I don't.
This weekend.
Don't worry for them.
Are you going to let them watch a game with you?
I got 3 life insurance policies. When my heart explodes, they'll be taken care of.
Are you going
4 life insurance?
Are you
going
to allow them to watch the game with you on Sunday?
5 lawyers, 4 life insurance.
I'm well taken care of, boy. We are well healed over here now. What were you going to say?
Are you going to let them watch the game with you?
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Hell yeah. Oh,
you know they're underdogs.
Yeah.
They're 3.
Yeah, I know.
They're 4-point underdogs. When the news came down, it actually got worse that Shedeur was starting. Vegas has that little hope that he's going to play well.
The bookmakers, not the Raiders.
Yeah. Oh, that's
probably the Raiders.
That's very good. That's interesting. Even though there's going to probably be more Browns fans there, right?
It's going to be me. If they do well and he plays well, I'm going to be jumping around that office like Baloo in the Jungle Book, and they're all going to be jumping around me. It's going to be great. And then if they don't do well, it might be Gulliver, and they're going to have to tie me to the floor. I don't know what it's going to be. But I'm looking forward to it, man. Young man, please. I got vets on this team. I hope you guys can figure it out. It ain't all on Shedeur. That coaching staff's got to figure out something. Make him comfortable. Make him comfortable as best you can. Quinshawn, you ran out of the gun in college a bunch. You can do it on Sunday. Let's crawl before we walk. Let's make him comfortable so we can make him be legendary. Because if they don't win on Sunday and he doesn't play well on Sunday, pack it up. That's just about it. Now, I would probably want him to play because I'd still be interested in him playing against the San Francisco 49ers. I wouldn't have a great feeling about it, just like I'm pretty nervous about Sunday. Because I still think there's so many things against them and so many things against him. Even if it's the Raiders, I have a bad feeling it ain't going to go our way. But if it goes our way, oh, yeah! Oh, my God, please! I want to celebrate so bad! Oh, my God, I want to celebrate!
Oh, my God. This gets turned into a madman. Dylan Gabriel,
Please.
Joe Flacco, Deshaun Watson. Hell, throw in Snoop Huntley. This is what they've done. This is what they've done to him.
Oh, man.
You were like Gacy when he was entertaining the cops in the house.
Come on.
Before they smelled, the smells that they smell.
Dead body. That's
we
the
all know
quarterbacks.
what's going on.
The quarterbacks are in my crawl space.
Yeah, something foul is coming up through the vents.
That's Cody Kessler. One more line down there. You guys got to stop watching the serial killer stuff because we're going too dumb. We got through too many serial killers. All right, 216-474-0092. What do you expect on Sunday? What do you expect on Sunday? Tommy Reese is like, we can make him fit here and there. Let's see how it goes. It's like, no, just do the things he did in college, please. What are you expecting on Sunday? 216-474-0092. Max Crosby, he's limited in practice. Hey, we'll get to it coming up in 5 on The Fan. 92.3.
Start on Sunday.
I know our fans have a lot of expectations and hope. I would be doing a disservice to myself and disservice to the organization if I didn't feel like I am the guy. I'm doing everything I need to prepare to be the best version of myself as possible.
The radio home of the Cleveland Browns. We are Sports Radio 92.3 The Fan.
I'm getting a lot of positivity on the comments, Tone. I'm going to get to the phones here in a second. 216-474-0092. What are you expecting on Sunday? I'm nervous. I've been nervous all week. Told you guys that. I don't know how well it's going to go. I heard the heard the coaches talking, heard Joel Bitonio talking. It makes me worried, but I'm telling you right now, the reason I'm so desperate is this. Like, if this was 16-17, and a lot of people were jumping in and they weren't here in 16-17. The reason it's 16-17 here is because it's different. Is because I got veterans here. And I know we had Joe at the time, and we love Joe, but we got a lot of veterans here. There's a lot of expensive players here on this football team. And if one of these guys hit, if a quarterback hits, if an offense can hit, it would help so much, because this is an AFC championship level defense that you have right now. This is a contending defense. We have to understand this. And my issue is, and we'll play some audio coming up at 7, why I'm so damn desperate. But I'll give you a precursor to it now, and I'll get to the phones here in a second, Tone, is because you can get excited about the rookies, but now I'm in moving target land. Like, is the rookies going to match up with Miles? Remember the conversation we had? Are the rookies going to match up with Denzel? Are the rookies going to match up with Wyatt? Are they going to match, like, that type of thing? I got good players. I got expensive good players. I know there's good players on this team. There might not be enough. And if one of these guys, these quarterbacks, can play at a high level, it changes the perception on everything. And then, my God, if Shedeur hits, I can use, and I don't know, guys, I don't know if 7 games is going to be enough. I'll admit that. But if he looks great through 7 games, let's let our imaginations run wild. If he looks great through 7 games, what can you do with 2 first-round picks next year? I mean, what can you do? Think about that.
Yeah, really able to stockpile talent in young, cheap talent.
Nick Kovac asked me, and I want to say it was Carnell Tate. It might not have been Carnell Tate. He goes, what if I could get you Caden Proctor and Carnell Tate next year? I go, sign me up. And I know some people think Caden Proctor's a little underrated, or overrated, but I think he's a hell of an athlete, obviously, and I think he's great. I don't care that he went to Iowa and came back, but either way, that's a conversation we can have measured throughout the months of January through April. We can have all the measured conversations we want. I feel personally, this is really my last chance to get really excited before a football game. And so I'm excited. I'm as nervous, and you can tell it in my voice, I'm as nervous as all get out. But I'm very excited. I'm very excited. And I want to see them rip the lid off this thing. And I want Jerry Jeudy to not have his time wasted. I want David Njoku to be open and Harold Fannin Jr. to be open, and him to hit all these guys and let champagne fall from the ceiling. But, I know what I saw back on Sunday when he was thrust into that. I know that he's only got 3 days of practice. I know what happened before where they really didn't get him ready for much of this when we all should have known. And I know that they belabored it throughout the week when it came to Jason talking about, well, they planned on redshirting him. I don't want to make the same mistake we made with Spurgeon Wynn years ago, where it's like, hey, you're not going to play this year, and then all of a sudden you got to play. Like, any guy who wears a Browns jersey at any time should be thinking that he's going to have to play. I mean, we've been through 42 of them now. Any of them should know. So that's what makes me go, And if they win against my better judgment, guys, I'm going to be excited on Monday morning. 6:01 Monday morning. Again, and I'm not taking a shot at Baskin and Phelps. I just know that they are much more measured than I am. If you guys want something logical, like we have 4 more hours after that to be logical, fine. If you want something logical, go listen to 10:01. Go listen to 10:01. I'm inviting you. But if he's good and they win, 6:01 here, you are going to hear Michael Stanley. You are going to hear me. You're going to hear. I want to bring you along with me. I don't know. Maybe you'll talk me off the ledge. I don't know.
I'm not. I mean, if the guy plays well, why would I talk? What ledge would there be? I'd be jumping on the ledge with you if the guy completely balls out. Because this is why it's going to be really interesting to see if. And I know, no, I'm not going to kill him if he has a bad game. It's his first full start, right? And now a defense has some tape to look at. Not much, but a defense. Believe me, they're expecting to go after him with reckless abandon. They're expecting to make him look bad and to exploit the bad habits. Like, this is their opportunity to get right after they got humiliated on Monday Night Football against Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. What I'm excited about is to see if some of the stuff that Shedeur fans have been telling me specifically when they've gone after me, like, what are these amazing traits that he had in college? What actually does translate to the NFL? Because for years I've been hearing about college quarterbacks and the stuff they do well in college. This is going to translate, and it with the Browns, it just almost never does. With the Johnny fans. I mean, we remember you don't understand, Anthony. He just has it. It's going to show up. You're going to see it. You're going to become a believer, and then it never does. So will this be the time that stuff, the special stuff that he did in Boulder? Will that start to show up? I'm not asking for it all to show up this week, but could you see moments? Could you see flashes?
I think we saw a couple of moments. Even I heard the Albert Breer, and I thought this is where I thought Albert Breer was a little too ticky-tack, and this is why I think that Albert, and if you go back and listen to that interview, 923thefan.com, when he was on with Afternoon Drive, and we don't need to go find the clip. It's good because I'm going to send you on a needle in a haystack chase here. When he was kind of going after the Gage Larvidan throw, I'm like, that's a dot. Come on. Give him, we can't just not let anybody up for air. You can't sit there and drown us the whole way here. That was a dot. It was a good play by Awuzie. That was a good pass. He got out of the way of trouble. He threw to a guy he recognized. Guys make plays, that happen. It was right to his chest. And when I heard Albert say it, I'm not even attacking Albert. I think Albert's a look into what the rest of the NFL feels about him. Because so many insiders, there's so many coaches and scouts and agents and everything who speak through insiders. And so I think that you heard what a lot of the league thinks of it. Go back and listen to that interview, and you hear how just dismissive he is of that throw to Gage Larvidan. And I'm like, that's why people get excited for him. That's why Jonathan got excited for him. That's a hell of a throw. And I don't know if he's going to be able to do that for an entire game. Like Nate just asked, like, how's he going to be good with this wide receiver core? Yeah, guys, there's a lot of logic to this that's going to tell you that this is going to be a rough Sunday. That's why I'm going to be so excited, because it will defy my logic. It will defy logic. Go back and listen to me on Monday or on Wednesday, and now here. It will defy what I really think is going to happen. Like, you hear Tommy Rees yesterday, and here's Tommy about this and trying to make a quarterback. Go to Tommy Rees here, what he wants to do to make a quarterback comfortable. Go ahead and hit it.
You want to make your quarterback comfortable. You want to call plays. You want to put in plays that breathe confidence into them as they hear them, as they call them, plays that they know they can make work. And then you press the guys around them to raise their level of play and play well, to continue to breathe confidence into young players and into young quarterbacks. So that's really been the motivation this week moving forward.
And then here he is about limiting expectations when it comes to his debut.
Expectations, I would say we try to limit those. It's more about, hey, we're going to pour, this whole week into making sure that you feel comfortable and confident. And, our goal and our job is to make sure that he gets that feel and gets ready to go on Sunday.
See, when I hear that, I think they'd do that if Shedeur was the number one overall pick. I think they'd do that. I think he'd feel that way. He was a former quarterback. He knows. You try to calm down the noise around you, not get swallowed up by everything. I understand that. But when you start behind the eight ball, and Shedeur is starting well behind the eight ball here, I think that you need to understand just how much is stacked against him. And so if you're able to overcome that, and there are going to be other hurdles, like San Francisco next Sunday, it's going to be another hurdle. There will be other hurdles. But if you clear this one, I'm going to say, okay, now we can go back to this performance and build on this performance. There's going to be times where they get to you, but we can build on this performance. So I'm going to be over the moon excited. 216-474-0092. I feel excited. I also feel nervous. But I'm not the football coach of the Cleveland Browns. I'm a fan. And I have zero power over this whole thing. That's why I'm thinking this is probably the last chance and the best chance I get to be really excited about this season coming up on Sunday. 216-474-0092. I've done a lot of talking. I'm going to get to you guys. And coming up here in about 15 minutes, this season is messing with our minds, man. Even good news sounds alarming. That's at 7 on the Fan. Classic Chevy.
SecretService.gov. Headline sports news every 20 minutes from the University Hospital's sports desk. We are Sports Radio 92.3 The Fan.
He's meant to work this week. He's been prepping hard. He's been doing some extra walkthroughs and getting understanding. He wants to perform well. We want to perform well for him. But I think he's going to have a better grasp of what we're trying to do on offense. And, hopefully that translates to some good drives, some sustained drives, some points scored. That's kind of what we're looking for.
I don't think it's going to be a pretty game. I think the first to 20 wins it. And if he gets to 20, and he could throw no touchdown passes. We can get inside the 5, and it's Quinshawn Judkins doing the work, and I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Play decent, win, and we'll talk about the rest on Monday, and I'm going to be an excited person. I'm going to get to your phone calls here in just a moment.
But what a nice week it would be to get the running game back.
You ain't kidding. Folks, YouTube Live today at 11 o'clock. I want you to go to 92.3 The Fan's YouTube Live today if you can't make it. We'd love to have you. At 11 o'clock, we're going to be over at Bomber Sports Cards, 203 East Royalton Road, Broadview Heights. We're supporting shoes and clothes for kids. You got some socks, you got some skivvies, you got a coat, whatever, shoes. Obviously, it's shoes and clothes for kids. Bring them for the kiddos. Holiday season is here. Lima and I are doing a live podcast today. We have a very special guest coming up at 11:15, trying to run down some other very special guests through the phone. You'll be able to watch the thing on YouTube Live. It's going to be fantastic. Come on out. We got Donato's Pizza. And now you threw this idea out there. We will be on YouTube live Q&A. So it's basically coming in hot.
Audience participation.
Yes.
If the engineering works out, we think it should.
You show up, even if they got to write it on an index card. Can't be politics. It's the only thing I'll leave out. But if you want an honest answer that I have to answer, or Tone has to answer, come on out.
If you want to ask, what do you really think? What do you really think of Andy Baskin? You're going to get an answer.
You're going to get an answer.
You will get an answer.
You will.
We have to. It's in our contract. It's binding. We have to. Our lawyers are going to be there.
You should probably know what you're talking about.
Now, what if Baskin calls and asks you what you think of Andy Baskin?
You got to do
What is up, Scotty? What's up, my man?
That is a swerve. But 203 East Royalton Road today, 11 to 1, Bomber Sports Cards. There will be Donato's there. There will be sports cards there. There will be memorabilia there. It's going to be a good time. I ask you to come on out. Enjoy the time. Enjoy the afternoon. We're kicking off the holiday season with the wonderful people with Bomber Sports Cards, of course, Extend Technologies. They present the emerging podcast scene. 11 to 1, special podcast, YouTube Live.
Food.
If you can't be there, be there.
There's food.
Yes.
Donato's, baby.
There will be pizza there. It's edge-to-edge pepperoni. I'm going to get to the phones now. 216-474-0092. I'm really excited. I'm also really nervous. My guts are boiling right now, but I got a lot of guts, so we'll see how they feel here after this call. Mike in East Cleveland, hello.
Ken, what's going on? What's going on, Lima?
What's up?
Hi, Mike.
Ken, I know you're an excitable boy. I'm a bit of a pragmatist, so let me be your get-back coach here, man. Did you forget? Did you forget Shedeur plays for the Browns? Did you forget how bad the rest of the team is? Calm down, brother. You bring up veterans. Jerry Jeudy is the drops leader. David Njoku was 300 pounds. Denzel has been having his worst season, and Miles is playing on a different team. He's not even on the Browns. The Browns have two different teams. We got the young kids that are good, and we got people like Miles and Denzel. So
how's Denzel been bad? They don't even throw at Denzel.
Man, listen, like I said when I called before, I told you, that's the position I tend to focus on. Like, you watch the trenches a lot, not to get nitty-gritty football.
That's fine. Get nitty-gritty if you want, but they don't even throw his direction.
Hold on, I only get 20 seconds. Let me go. That look last week at that pass that he acted like he broke up in the end zone. He was beat and he held. That should have been a flag. That should have put them in position to score that touchdown last week.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda, didn't happen. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, didn't happen.
That's very true. That's very true. But that still don't mean you've been playing well. Just like, Shedeur and Dylan been throwing these almost interceptions. That don't mean, like, it didn't happen, but that don't mean you're playing well. So all I'm saying is, I know. All I'm saying is just let's calm down. Listen, I want him to be good because I'm a Browns fan, man. I need a quarterback like I need air. So anybody, Boo-Boo the Fool can be the quarterback and I'll be happy. But let's give Shedeur a little bit. Let's treat it like a regular start for a fifth-round pick. Let's not expect nothing. Like you say, I appreciate you when you say even if he don't throw a touchdown, I'll be cool with it.
That's fine.
In a win. You know what I'm saying? Because that's more realistic. Let's not do Super Bowl, Super Browns on Monday. Please, bro.
He can go out there. I ain't lying to you, Mike. What's the over-under on that? Mike, thank you for the call.
Is he saying Njoku weighs more than Darnell Washington?
I think they're similar.
Come on, give him some grace. He's been banged up this year.
As I'm going to see David next week.
Yeah.
I'm not. If David or his family's listening, don't even be mentioning that. I don't even want to. Don't even do it. Willie in Akron, you're next up on the Fan. Hello, Willie.
Hey, it's Fat Willie. How's it going?
How much do you weigh?
How do you compare to David the
Stop
Joker?
it now, Fat Willie. Oh, not you, Fat Willie. Oh, well, how much do you weigh, Fat Willie?
580.
580.
I got to wear my 6X Shador jersey this week. I called a few years ago because Lima called me a loser wearing my Cribs jersey.
What do you think of that, Tone?
Well, now I feel bad. It's a holidays, Willie.
Yeah, you need to feel bad. But tonight, this is a great weekend. We got Shador coming Sunday. We got tonight, we got my boy Josh Cribbs' kid playing for the Hoban Knights. The Mogador Wildcats going after a title. But most of all, Ken, I got something for you. What? You're so nervous about everything. I got a great way for you to relax.
What you got?
My wife tomorrow, Mahogany, we're having a reunion down on Talmadge Avenue. So maybe that'll help you relax for Sunday.
Good God, Willie. You know how long it's been since I heard that name? Do you understand how that's a Hall of Famer right there you're talking about? You better make sure you respect.
I love her.
Thank you very much.
Mahogany.
Oh, yeah. No, you don't know what that... Willie, thank you for the call.
You've brought it up before.
Yeah, I brought it up. There was, when I was a younger man, we would go to... It wasn't a church.
Okay.
We would go to a place in Akron. And
Understood.
There was a businesswoman there.
There was a... I mean, you know, she was a dancer. And her name was Lady Mahogany.
She had her side hustle.
And we were quite taken. I was quite taken. That's 20-year-old Ken. You guys don't know 20-year-old Ken.
You're impressionable young boy.
20-year-old Ken was a big fan of Lady Mahogany. Mm-hmm. That's the way it goes. And Willie remembers that.
Willie remembers,
and Willie,
yes.
Willie, I thank you for remembering. I'm touched. Thank you so much. Andre in North Carolina.
That was 4XL ago.
He's next up on the Fan. Hello, Andre. For me or Willie? Hello, Andre.
Hey, what's up, boys?
Hey. Hi. Go ahead. What do you think on Shador? How's it going to go?
All right. So I'm excited because a couple things, right? First time I've been excited for a game in like 5 weeks. But second of all, I think he's going to actually stretch the field a little bit, and which will open up Quinshawn running lanes, which hasn't been, they've been stacking the box for like weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say this, on DraftKings, insane value on Shador. Like,
what are you, a tout now?
You got
what
a
are
promo
you doing?
code too? Or?
Is this Stu Feiner calling in?
Go ahead, guys, I'm just telling you.
I think he's going to feed that kid that's crying in the background.
What are you doing?
I know, dude. I'm trying. So let me just give you like a small example, right? Like couple touchdowns, 220, and a Gage Larvidan touchdown and a Browns win. I can turn 10 into like 10K, buddy.
Boom. You beat the book.
That's a good father right there, my friend. Thank you very much. It's going to be a good Christmas.
Come holiday time, they're going to need you.
Andre, North Carolina for 10%.
You got to be in on it now.
Andre, North Carolina, and Stu Feiner are going to kill your bookmaker. Coming up at 8:20, the dangerous one, Daryl Ryder. Coming up next. This is part of the reason I'm so excited, guys. This season is messing with our heads so much. Even good news is alarming Browns fans. That's at 7:01 on the Fan. Friends, Ken Carman here. Well, you just heard my voice, so obviously I'm still here for the Ohio Turnpike. It's a better way to travel. I was on the Turnpike yesterday.
right here on 92.3 The Fan. From the University Hospital Sports Desk, I'm Jeff Thomas.
All the Browns and NFL news you may have missed at work. The Afternoon Drive. Weekday starting at 2. 92.3 The Fan.
So this is the way this season goes. It's been such a weird season that has messed with our heads so much that even good news is met with a lot of terrified cynicism for a lot of fans. Yesterday, Alex Wright gets signed. And he gets extended. $33 million over the next 3 years, 21 of which is guaranteed. I'll say this right now. I'm a big fan of Alex Wright. I think that his return has been fantastic. He's not a Myles Garrett, obviously, so some people just, well, where does he show up? I like Alex Wright, and I want to give credit where it's due. I think he's a fantastic player. I've got the chance to talk to him here over the last few years. He's come back from that injury. I think his story from coming back from that injury is great. I don't know if you get the level of seriousness out of other players that you do with him. There's a lot of guys on this defense who I just have a great deal of respect for, I got to tell you, personally. All show stuff aside. And he is one of them. And I said that, and immediately people going, does this mean Andrew Berry's going to stay? And I'm like, oh, God. So now things have gone so toughly, so poorly this year, is that if they sign an extension with somebody, then it automatically means the guys are going to stay. I don't know if it's going to stay. I don't know if he's going to stay, Andrew Berry. I don't know if he's going to go. I think that they look at their situation in the NFL as stable. And I think that the weight of the opinions of other people in the NFL matter a great deal to them. I think if they didn't, they would have probably let go of Kevin last year. They might have let go of Andrew last year if the opinions of others in the NFL didn't weigh upon them very heavily. I think that there is if we were going to talk about guys getting let go, I think there's about a 50-50 chance with either. And some of you are going to say 50% that they stay? Yeah, 50% that they stay. I think that even though I say that, and a lot of people are nervous when I say it, this is a signing you'd want anyway. We can't meet everything with doom and gloom. They are what they are, and I know that a lot of fans want their pound of flesh. I can understand that from fans. Okay, you're mad. It's not been your season. It's not been our season. It's tough. Now, I think that there's been some extenuating circumstances, but that just turns into a giant bunch of excuses. And I think Sunday, I'm hesitant to say anything even in defense of the front office and the coaching staff, because I want to see how things go on Sunday. Because I think that there's so many things, like when I talked about Shedeur on Wednesday and the situation he's in, Anthony, a lot of people took it as anti-Shedeur. Well, it's the internet. I can't help the internet. That's fine. But I said, no, that's not anti-Shedeur. It's a question of all this. And I think that a first rounder would be under some duress with this football team, let alone Shedeur Sanders. I think Dylan Gabriel was put in an unfair spot. Joe Flacco, to so many ways, might have been put in an unfair spot, but he's been in the league for 20-something years, and he's probably used to it by now, and it's whatever. But I look at it going, well, is this the blind leading the blind? Is this still not a great – because, yeah, I know that there's some rookies there, and they've played well, but my issue is the timing of everything. And it's not necessarily great timing, and I worry about Shedeur and what they're going to be able to do on Sunday. Now, if they win, I ain't taking back anything I said. It's going to be a celebration here on Monday. But even you could see how tough this season is for fans where Alex Wright signing an extension should be good news. And it's taken with cynicism going, that doesn't mean he's staying, is it? Like, this has been a rough year. That's part of the reason why, yeah, I'd really like something to celebrate on Sunday, even against the lowly 2-8 Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, so when they announced that signing yesterday, I was like, all right, this is, what was he, a third-round pick that, I don't think he's going to be a Pro Bowler anytime, but certainly a nice compliment to what you have with Myles Garrett on that defensive line. You know, we were in the abyss there for a while, trying to figure out year in and year out, you know, what this defensive line was going to look like, from, you know, making the big splash moves with Jadeveon Clowney to Zadarius Smith, and, you know, along the way we've tried to find the right pairing, and now with the drafting of Mason Graham, it seems like we've got a defensive line that, as long as Myles, you know, can elongate a prime, and he looks like he has no signs of slowing down, like, this is going to work. This is going to work no matter what, as long as guys stay healthy. So, and that's the same question every team in the NFL is hoping for their talented position grouping.
But even like when you looked at the Alex Wright signing, is there anything like, because that to me is the first sign of okay, give me some stability, young player. I think he is a Andrew Berry signing. If I were Jimmy Haslam, even if I decided that at the end of the year I was moving on from Andrew Berry, this is a deal that I'm willing to do. Or as the owner of the franchise, he's a good player.
Not just moving on from Andrew Berry. You know, there's obviously been the speculation that, you know, his role could change and there could be promotion from within, which I know is going to sound ridiculous to a very big portion of the fan base going, man, I don't even want to renew my season tickets next year after this disaster. So how are you promoting anybody, or how are you promoting from within? How could that be the case? So I'll just say this is not a big ticket item. Like, the big ticket item stuff is where I would pause and say, are we sure?
Exactly.
That and again,
thank you.
Myles Garrett getting that big contract last year. I mean, if you made your pitch to Jimmy Haslam that, you know, we can't trade Myles, even though we got 3 first rounders potentially coming in from, you know, specific teams.
Yeah.
I think you would do that either way. If you're Jimmy Haslam, you're like, yeah, I want to believe in my football team over the next few years.
Even if it is,
now maybe another GM could come in and then sell you the following year that you could trade him.
Well, I got nothing else, but one of my problems is, and this is where I think this sets you up, and you're getting to this, and I don't mean to steal anything from you or even repeat what you might have just said here. But this has been my issue. When you've gone through changeover, you've let good football players go because of philosophy. Mm-hmm. And we've seen that a million times over. You remember the one NFC championship game where the Falcons were in so many years ago? And gosh, I forget how they were playing, because there's been a lot of beers between them then and now. But they had that list of former Cleveland Browns who were in the NFC championship game and contributing. And I go, that's the issue, guys. When you have so much changeover, you have new philosophies coming in, and they go, these aren't good football players. I need to go get you good football players. This is how this is going to work. Big ticket items, like you said, that might raise a flag. You're exactly right about that. My issue is those good football players who end up on other teams that help the better football players. Alex Wright's really good. He ain't Myles Garrett. He probably, and I know it's a different position, but will he make the same impact as a Mason Graham? Well, you hope not, because Mason Graham's top 5 overall. So you hope that Mason Graham is much better. But Mason Graham will someday, you hope, be a big ticket item. I don't know who's going to end up signing him. I don't know if this means anything for Andrew Berry's future at all. But even if it were, and I don't know if it's an owner decision or not, but if I were Jimmy Haslam, there's 2 things that I'd like to do that I think help fill in the blanks for my football team, regardless of any decision I make. And I want to make sure that they are locked in and they are past any sort of differing thought on that. Number 1, Alex Wright. Wanted to sign him, got it done. 2, and people are going to, there's definitely going to be people who balk at this because he's a part of a group that isn't that great altogether, is Wyatt Teller. And you and I have brought that up before, is because you go back to the Jack Conklin principle, which I know is not a great example because not a lot of people trust Jack Conklin. But again, what's the going rate? And are you going to be able to replace that guard right now, especially with either, well, we'll see Sanders on Sunday and see whether or not he has what it takes to be a candidate, to be a quarterback for the long term, or if you bring in a rookie, or with a bridge quarterback, which is another one to talk about at 8 o'clock.
I just looked at his age. It says birthday, November 21st, 1994. Does he turn 30 today, Wyatt Teller? And we're talking contract extension?
Wouldn't that be 31?
Well, it says 30 right now. Did they not?
He's 31.
He's 31.
94 to 2025.
Turns 31 today.
Can I get him for another 2 to 3 years?
So he is.
And what? Because you're supposed to have his backup there in Zach Zinter, but that ship is sailing.
Yeah, seems
further
like
and further through Lake Erie. I don't know what's going on there. I mean, that's kind of where you're at right now. And I could use that against Andrew Berry and go, well, your backup, your guy who's supposed to either replace him or Joel Bitonio, you can't even make him active. Okay, that's used against Andrew Berry. But I know that Wyatt Teller, now he has me in a spot. Offensive line plays worse than it's been in years. Okay?
That's across the league. That's not just Browns.
Yes, I know that there's fans who are going, Kenny, really? Okay. Guys, you let him go. I'm just creating another hole for whoever my quarterback is.
What it's going to be really hard to separate, and Wyatt Teller has been awesome for most of his time in Cleveland.
And I trust him more than a lot of free agents. I'll tell you that right now.
And you trust him more than somebody like that you extended, and it has bit you big time in Conklin.
But this is his last year.
Right. This is his last year. The question is, you're not, hopefully if you extend Wyatt Teller, you're getting some more Wyatt Teller years and not the roller coaster of the health and is he regressing because of the age?
Yeah, understood. But those are the two things that I kind of want to, I know that I got excited at 6 o'clock, so it's like, hey, I'm going to be pragmatic here. I think it doesn't matter who the owner is. It doesn't matter who the general manager is. You see what this team is, and I would rather make these signings now because I think Wyatt Teller's going to help out whoever the quarterback is next year because I think you're about to go through a really tough situation here with your offensive line. I think Ethan Posick probably isn't long for here. I don't know where Luke Whippler's going to play, though. Could Luke Whippler replace Ethan Posick, or does Luke Whippler replace Joel Bitonio more than likely when he's done after this year? I would say personally, I haven't talked to the guy. I'm about 75% sure he's done. And the way he talks a lot, it's almost like he's kind of giving you some hints there, it seems. But I don't want to put words into his mouth. At the tackle positions, if we're hoping that Cam Robinson's able to come back, no offense to him, we're in kind of a tough spot right there. Jack Conklin, not a lot of people trust him. I go further than that. Can I trust DeJuan Jones? I can't trust him to be healthy. I think I can trust him as a right tackle, but I can't trust him to be healthy. So now I have to worry about that. It just makes sense to me that, one, you keep Alex Wright, good player, extend him. It's a good signing no matter who the general manager is. And two, now we look at our offensive line and probably get something done with Wyatt Teller. There's probably a couple other players that I haven't thought of right off the top. But just to calm down the waters a little bit on, oh my gosh, I don't know whether that means he's staying or whether he's going.
I still think it's too early to tell. I think
it's too early to tell.
I think Jimmy Haslam would love to bring everybody back, but we still have 7 games. And
that's going to make a big difference.
And I am curious, this Shedeur thing, is this an experiment? Can he validate whoever's responsible for the Shedeur pick? If he plays really well, flip side of that, if it looks disastrous, why did he start already then? If the goal was to sit him this year, redshirt him?
That's true.
I think all that is going to play in to the bigger picture decision making.
I just asked you one question before the break, and you can answer it on the other side at 7:21.
Yeah.
If Shedeur plays the next 7 games and plays really well, a guy who is a flyer, use the term flyer and underline it, could he save Andrew Berry's job? 7:21.
Yep.
Don't answer it now.
Okay, I almost answered.
Ken Carman, Tone Master General, about last night at 7:45 on The Fan. Tom Merriman and Merriman.
The Cavs might get a little extra help tonight. Darius Garland might make his return this evening against Indiana. Garland right now listed as questionable for the game. He's been dealing with that sore left big toe. Can now find 92.3 The Fan on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Get the best content from our shows each and every weekday. That's 92.3 The Fan on YouTube. Headline sports news every 20 minutes right here on 92.3 The Fan. From the University Hospital Sports Desk, I'm Jeff Thomas.
8 o'clock, a conversation you don't want to have, but you're going to have. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we could be doing laser eyes and 4D chess. Tone, get ready to get the chessboard out. It could be time to do that. Also, coming up at 8:20 this morning, the dangerous one, Daryl Ryder. 9 o'clock, Nathan Zgura. Coming in hot at 9:45. Please keep your comments within the boundaries of good taste. I'm going to play this Nick Kostos on Baskin and Phelps. I almost said Ask him Baskin. On Baskin and Phelps, coming up here in just a moment. I did ask you right before the break. Shedeur Sanders, he's got 7 games. Because a lot of people, once they extended Alex Wright, a lot of people go, oh, gosh, that means Andrew Berry's going to stay. And it's like, well, you could do worse. But I'm not going to say too much because I don't know what I'm going to be saying on Monday. So I don't want to say too much. However, because of that, there's 7 games left. Could Shedeur Sanders save Andrew Berry's job, Anthony?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he can save everybody's job.
I was wondering what you were going to say.
But to be fair, I would have said the same thing about Dylan Gabriel.
Would he say?
I would have said the same thing about anybody they trotted out there.
Okay, that's an interesting part
Bailey
of it.
Zappi.
Because
could go on a run.
Nick Kostos, BetQL, was on with Baskin and Phelps. He had this to say yesterday.
Yes, they're 0-5 on the road, but I don't know, it feels like a lot of those teams are good, and then they lost a fluky game to the Jets, so I don't necessarily put a ton of stock into that. And I'll just repeat, just on the Browns overall, I actually think, this season is a success for Cleveland. So many of the young players are good. How good is Schwesinger? He's going to be an all-pro. Fannon's good. Mason Graham's good. This is exactly what you wanted this season to be. The Browns were never going to the playoffs this year, and I was consistent in the offseason with you guys. The quarterback of the future is not on the roster. And now you've set yourself up with multiple first-round picks in next year's draft, a good young nucleus of players, and now you can go get your quarterback and really cook with gas next year. I actually think this season is a smashing success for the Cleveland Browns, even if the record doesn't show it.
Okay, I'm going to get to that here in just a second because I don't think I totally agree with that whatsoever. However, if he goes out there and he plays well on Sunday, it's the first step. Now, he has to have... Again, my thought for next year is quarterback until one of them makes me not want to take a quarterback. That's where I'm at next year. That's where I think the Browns are. That's where I think the owner is. I think it's quarterback next year, this coming April, until one of these guys proves that you don't need a quarterback. Whether it would have been Dylan Gabriel, whether it's Shedeur Sanders. You got 7 games to prove me different. That's a lot of work in a short amount of time. Because as you go step by step, there's going to be more tape on you. They're going to be able to figure you out a little bit better. There's going to be better teams you play against. Are you going to be able to answer that challenge? I don't know, but it only starts with the first step, and that's on Sunday against the Raiders. And I think you're right, because while I want to attack his overall point on this season's been a success, by the way, it's Schwesinger. Well, I want to attack Nick Kostos' overall point. If he goes out there and he plays well, Nick Kostos ends up being right, because now all of a sudden, these guys that end up being wastes for us, you're hitting the green light. Kyle Brandt went nuts on Good Morning Football. Is he still on Good Morning Football? I'm sorry. I like Kyle Brandt. I just haven't seen Good Morning Football in years. I think he went nuts on Good Morning Football about Myles Garrett being an NFL Defensive Player of the Year on a bad football team, on a top 5 drafting football team. Okay, well, if Shedeur Sanders ends up playing well, now it's worth it. This team that has veterans, if Shedeur Sanders ends up playing well, now it's worth it. As of right now, though, as of this morning, it's not worth it. And I can't say that this season's a smashing success because I still think that these rookies are not going to be playing with some of these very good players for long. So as soon as I fill holes with some of these rookies, I have created new holes because of the veterans. I've created new holes because of the contract to the quarterback that puts me in handcuffs now because I still have to pay off the freight on a quarterback nobody wants to see. More on that coming up at 8 o'clock. Those things affect you greatly. And plus, it's been a good draft class. You got good rookies there. Nobody trusts the general manager still. Nobody does. I see your latest one, and I know Alex Wright just got signed. That's a good one. But if I were to go out on the street and ask 100 people if they trust Andrew Berry or not, you're going to get about 85 say that they don't, Anthony.
Well, a couple things here. I mean, it is about time that the Browns had a good draft class and that a team has a chance to turn it around quickly. That is how the rest of the NFL operates. So it would be like finally that would happen. Now, we also seen in the NFL, the Jets in 2022 had a great draft class. And what happened afterwards? So just having one good draft class certainly does not necessarily mean that you're going to be competing for Super Bowls shortly thereafter. We've seen plenty of teams fumble that because obviously what he's getting to is you got to get the quarterback. And the hope is that we already have one on the roster or that we can go get one next year. And look, that's what this whole thing hinges on because they've already got the really good defense and you have no reason to believe that the defense is going to fall apart next year or even the year after.
No.
A lot of that hinges on the health of Myles Garrett, right? And whether or not he's going to be here. But the good news for Browns fans is in this league, you're always 1 year away. So it's about time that we act like it.
I understand you're 1 year away, but is the 1 year... Well, wait a minute. So are you agreeing with Nick Costos then on that point?
I'm not agreeing that this year's been a success. I don't know how.
I don't know. Smashing success is crazy.
Smashing success would have been what you were hoping for at the beginning of the year, which was 8 or 9 wins. That would have been the smashing success.
Yeah.
They're looking like one of the worst teams in football, despite having an elite defense.
I'm sure he's looking at it as you're setting yourself up to get your quarterback next year and you have rookies.
He came into the season thinking they're going to be terrible. And none of that mattered. It was about evaluating rookies. But like I just said, man, ask the Jets fans. 2022, didn't they have the Sauce Gardner draft, the Breece Hall draft?
That's exactly right.
They thought they'd be really good.
That's exactly right. And how many rookies do I have here that's contributing out of 53? I got rookies here that are contributing. I got Quinshawn, I got Harold Fannin, I got Dylan Sampson to a lesser degree, but he's still there. Aiden Huntington, I'll throw him in there. Mason Graham's having a good season, even though he doesn't show up in stat sheets because he's a defensive tackle. But he's having a very nice year. Carson Schwesinger might end up being the defensive rookie of the year there. Okay, that's 5 guys that I can name right off the top of my head. I still got 53 other guys. And what about the second-year guys? What about Mike Hall, who you just got back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about some of these other guys that are still younger? What about Zach Zinter, who, again, can't get even active, let alone be put into the starting lineup there? That's part of the issue. This is some of the stuff that's going to end up costing you. So even if Shedeur goes out there and plays well on Sunday, yes, Monday morning, I'm going to be excited. But by Tuesday and Wednesday, yes, I'm going to have to look at this with a little bit more pragmatism and go, okay, he's played well against he's played well against Las Vegas. How do I get him to play well against San Francisco, knowing that, hey, Kyle Shanahan and that defense, Robert Saleh and that defense, they're going to be ready to go. What am I going to do to get him across there? And how can I keep this team still in good standing with a lot of folks? Because you are still not out of the woods. I'll take it step by step. Without a doubt, I'll take it step by step. But I just had Jerry Jeudy. Not very thrilled. I just had Joel Bitonio, who's not going to probably be here next year. That's granted. But Joel Bitonio has seen every single style of quarterback that you could possibly find over the last 12 years of his career, however long he's been here with the Cleveland Browns. And he sounds like he's kind of, maybe we could scrap together some drives and see if we can go out and do it. He's very hesitant in his own right. So my hope is exactly that. It's a hope. Is it an expectation? No. But I'll go step by step. There's no way I can say that this season has been successful. I got 5 rookies. My team isn't that young. If I had second and third year guys exceedingly well around a quarterback, that would be different. I got 7 games to make that happen. And if not, I go into next year where already I got every Tom, Dick, and Harry telling me, Ken, I don't know, there's no Julian Sayin in this draft. It's already beginning there. So I would much rather go, hey, Shedeur plays well. I'd much rather do that because I know what I'm seeing here because I will have seen him for 7.5 games as opposed to guys who, coming out in college, it's more of a crapshoot than it's ever been. I'd love to, but I don't know if that's going to be realistic. I don't think it's going to be realistic because of this entire setup this year. That's why I still have the feeling I have on Wednesday. I'm excited and I want to see him do well coming up this Sunday, but I can't fight what I know and what I feel in the back of my head that I felt on Wednesday. There's a lot of things here that are against him, let alone whatever you think of his play and how good he's going to be. There's a lot of things where he's just not set up to be very successful right now. 216-474-0092. Travis, where are you calling from, Travis?
Spencer, Ohio.
Where the hell is that? Okay, go ahead, Travis.
So, follow me on this. I think Andrew Berry keeps his job because of this. When he made the trade for Deshaun Watson, that put us in a bind. Now, take that out of the equation. Look at this defense. Next year, you got Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah hopefully coming back. You add him with Schwesinger.
We haven't heard. I will say this: we haven't heard. The more and more I don't hear anything about that, it would seem like that's probably not much of a chance.
Maybe I'll get a good update coming up later, Travis. But I gotta agree with Anthony. I hate to say it.
I think he's coming back, but let's say he does. Okay, you have all the ammunition you need to then spend this whole offseason building up the offense. Now, the good thing is if Shedeur does pan out, Andrew Berry looks like he's the man because you have the offensive line that you can improve, and then you're really a receiver and a left tackle away from, I'd say, competing for the playoffs.
Well, if you have a quarterback, regardless, and by the way, I did not know where Spencer was. It's in Medina County.
West Medina County.
Population, according to Wikipedia, almost 700, 684.
And that was one of them.
They got the White Elephant Saloon and Peepaw's Full Throttle Diner.
They have a diner and a saloon?
Oh, yeah. Not to mention the Spencer Main Street Market and the Spencer Community Fire District.
Can Kenny's Meemaw go to Peepaw's?
Meemaw, Peepaw, fetch the radio station.
It's time for Spencer football.
It's time for Ken to talk about Shedeur Sanders. If you have a quarterback, it would change everything. But if you don't have the quarterback, it feels like they're eons away, and we're wasting the season. You can't say this season's successful when every game that goes by, it's just where my defense gets older on a team that's losing. As great as this defense has been. Because I'm telling you, at the end of all this, if they can't get this figured out here in the next couple of years, this is part of the reason I'm so damn desperate. You think you feel bad now? You think you felt bad when Joe was playing for how many years and your offense couldn't get their head out of their ass? And your organization couldn't get their head out of their ass? And the only thing we have to do is just apologize to Joe for the great play around the terrible football that he had to be a part of there? How are you going to feel about Myles Garrett?
Yeah,
how are you going to feel about that?
The other thing is it's so tough to just assume you've got long runways in this league. I mean, just ask Buffalo. Buffalo last night, 8 sacks for Josh Allen. Ask the 49ers, who have a good record. 2 Hall of Famers, potential Hall of Famers, are out for the year with injuries.
Exactly.
Like, that can just happen, and then what? So it's really hard to just assume, and Nick Costas was doing that. Oh, yeah, next year they're going to be great. You just don't know. It's just really hard. That's why it's hard to ever call a season a success when you're sitting there at 2-8 and you're underdogs this week on your 3rd quarterback, but really like your 6th quarterback of the year against the Raiders on Sunday. That's what's so hard.
Adam in Cleveland, you're next up on the Fan.
Morning, guys.
Morning, Adam.
Hey, I kind of agree, like I said, part of it with Travis, just in the fact of if we're able to find and Shedeur is able to be the guy, I mean, the fact that we have 2 first-round picks, what we can do on the offensive side, I mean, I'm a big believer. I would take the best wide receiver if we find Shedeur. I think we take Tyson or Carnell Tate. And then I know the last Alabama left tackle absolutely made us want to jump off a bridge, but I think Caden Proctor would be huge. I mean, I would take Fano too, but I think he's a right tackle.
Whoa! We're putting carts before horses here.
He was also a right tackle in college.
How do you think? Well, I'm not gonna. Well, the thing, if I can say this, even though I don't want him to talk about the draft right now, for the love of God, I'm not going to let another guy being a failure coming out of one school affect how I feel about another guy coming out of that school. That's how I had one of the worst opinions about Patrick Mahomes in my life because of the way that other quarterbacks were. However, Adam, let's start with the first thing, okay? How do you think he's going to do Sunday?
I've been a firm believer, and I think a lot of people in Cleveland have been. I mean, I think he's going to do all right. I think it was a little weird. You guys have been saying it too, just though he didn't get 1 reps, last week or when he became the 2. Now, I know he was injured, but, I've just seen some things. I have some buddies just around there and just seeing, like you said, the progress is real with that guy. Now, again, it's going to take a little bit, don't get me wrong, but I think Sunday you give him a full week. Again, we're not looking for anything special. I just wanted my biggest thing, and I want to hear you guys, what you say, just don't lose the game.
Well, if he's able, he doesn't have to go. Adam,
we got to make sure he doesn't lose the game. We can build up on it. And then
your call's breaking up a little bit here. I don't know where you're driving through. I hope you have a good day. I'm going to agree with you on that. He doesn't have to. Well, Spencer probably has good cell phone reception. They probably have a lot of cell phone towers out there. I'm not sure, but I'm going to guess. If he doesn't have to throw for a bunch of touchdowns, guys. He could throw for 0 touchdowns. 0 touchdowns. He could hand the ball off to Quinshon Judkins at the 10. You're going to have to throw the ball decently to move the offense here. Like I'm not going to be a victim of the stat line here. If he throws for no touchdowns and they win the game and he doesn't turn the ball over and he doesn't put them in a bad spot, he's starting next week to me. And if he's not, I'm going to raise hell. Ain't going to be doing a damn bit of good because they ain't going to make any decisions based on me, but I'm going to raise hell. And I think fans should raise hell over it. I got a guy who I think has a bigger ceiling, higher ceiling, playing decent enough to go out there and win. I'm going to give him another game. If I had to sit here through 6 games of Dylan Gabriel and whatever that was and just go, well, he threw 7 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. Okay, well, 2 can play that game then, and I'm going to do it. So don't give me that. If this is what we're doing and we're just figuring out as we go here about who can stay for next year and that's what this season becomes, and I'm willing to accept that as time goes on, don't get me wrong, then I don't give a damn. He goes out there and he plays again against the San Francisco 49ers. So he doesn't have to throw for umpteen touchdowns for me to put my stamp of whatever it means to anybody, my stamp of approval on any of it. I think you feel the same way on that based on what we've seen. As long as he plays better than that,
yeah,
I'm going to be feeling okay.
Absolutely.
My issue is that there's a lot of things that are stacked against him from his history coming out of college, the type of offense that they run, the type of players they have around him that I don't feel great about. And I will not walk away from that. That's why Sunday is such a big day for me as a Browns fan. And I think it's a very big day for us as Browns fans altogether. Coming up at 8 o'clock, a conversation you don't want to have, but we are going to have. Coming up next, we might have a little preview of that conversation because there was somebody down in Houston who played real well. It's about last night, next on The Fan.
Anthony Lima for Fanatic Sportsbook.
So much can happen around the globe that we never hear of.
Embarrassing. We got to be better on defense.
It won't matter till April. I think we know that. Not going to write us off. We could go 82-0. No one would care.
He's a piece of crap. The kid, he sucks. He's sucked his whole career.
I got rumors about him. How he couldn't please his wife, so now he's divorced.
Put a damn winning team on the field.
Now the Ken Carman Show with Anthony Lima give their thoughts on what you might have missed about last night.
Last night we had some National Football League action in Houston. I went to bed thinking the Bills are going to blow out the Texans, and I wake up. The Texans win 23-19 after a stellar defensive performance. But I want to talk about quarterback Davis Mills for Houston, the backup who's won his third straight game for the team. He was asked in the postgame, is he solely the backup in Houston?
In my current situation, I don't think there's a competition. I mean, CJ's the starter for this team. Just doing everything I can to bring my best foot forward every day, make everyone else around me better, and try to play my role to my best ability when I get thrown in there.
Yeah, that's great and boring all. Is Davis Mills a potential option as the next Cleveland Browns quarterback for next year?
That was the perfect answer for a backup quarterback.
That's a good answer. It's a boring answer.
That's backup quarterbacks are to be seen and not heard.
You know,
he's absolutely a possibility for the Browns next year.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what we're doing. You know, we did it with Mac Jones, right? Who came in, had some really nice moments. Davis Mills as a starter is 8-19-1, so he's got more of a track record than, say, even Bailey Zappi. Zappi, I don't know if I was informing the show yesterday, but off the air, I'm like, boy, we've all just concluded that Bailey Zappi, we know what he is. And I'm like, he's only started 9 games in the NFL, and 4 or 5 of them have been above average starts. One of them, I think, was against the Browns. Did he carve up the Browns once?
He had 300 yards against the Browns.
But he had a terrible game in the last game of the season last year for the Browns.
I did the post game that game.
So I think a couple of those you got to go look at. The passing was not great. I went and looked after you said it. Passing not the greatest. And got some defensive scores as well.
Made a trade. I remember that game succinctly. I could not believe I was sitting in this very studio, watching Bailey Zappi carve us up because I had to fill in. Me and Jeff Phelps did a switch. I did a Phelpsian bargain, if you will. Mm-hmm. And I had to do the post game, and boy, were they mad.
Well, so this is a hard thing because before this season, you would have said Jake Browning. Is he in the mix? These backup quarterbacks can really ebb and flow. But the starting quarterbacks in this league, the good ones, are having ups and downs. Look at Josh Allen last night.
I should mention that Mills is currently under contract through 2026, although it's for only $7 million, so a potential small trade may work out there. Staying in the NFL, Deion Sanders yesterday talking in an interview with Colorado Football and was asked once again whether or not he's going to be attending in Vegas this weekend.
I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet. I've been urged to go. I'm pretty sure he wants me to go. But I kind of, you want to be out of the way. You don't want to be his distraction. Yeah. But not that I would be. But then you think, he came all the way up here to see you. So that's a shorter trip to go see him. You start thinking that as a dad because you know what it means to him if he just catch a glimpse of you before he walks out.
Do you think that Deion causes too much of a distraction for Shedeur in his first start?
He can go.
I don't think it's too much. I don't think that's the dynamic with their relationship that's been so well documented. I mean, it seems like if anything that might help Shedeur.
Yeah, go see him. Go see him. You're right. You've been his coach his entire life.
Now here's the thing.
He's your son. Go see him.
Here's what we do
if you can. I know he's got one more game at Kansas State after this. I want to make sure.
Here's what we have to prepare for.
Go see him if you can.
Where is he going to be in that stadium? If he does go to that game.
I'd be hiding.
And will the cameras catch him? Oh, here's a bad Shedeur play. Let's show Deion. Like, what will that be? Because you know how Browns fans, especially Shedeur fans, if they catch Deion, he's shaking his head, they're going to go, oh, he didn't like that play call.
He has a good play.
He didn't like that play call.
Oh, that's true. But he has a good play, though.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Deion
that'd be
a smile that lights up the West.
Guys, that would be a great story.
I'd be hiding. I'd be in the caverns of the stadium.
When does Deion hide? Whenever does Deion Sanders hide?
If you can't hide, do you sit up in the box with the Haslems, or do you stay on the side?
Well, then Dylan Gabriel's parents get to be with the Haslems as well when they go to games. Can't play favorites.
Speaking of rookies here, I want to get this clip in from Jim Schwartz yesterday. He was referring to linebacker Carson Schwesinger and brought up a Pro Football Hall of Famer in comparison to the Browns rookie.
I gave him a big compliment on Monday because I was with Ray Lewis his first 3 years in the NFL. And Ray's obviously a Hall of Famer, maybe the best ever to play the middle linebacker position. But the command that Carson has now, in a lot of respects, took Ray his third year in the league before. It takes guys sort of piecemeal to put all of that stuff together. He's been right in the middle of it.
As the unofficial president of the Carson Schwesinger fan club, I love every part of this.
So
every part
it's
of
so
this.
interesting. We've never talked about linebacking.
Atlanta.
We've never talked about linebacking play less in the NFL when it comes to the best players. We talk pass rushers, we talk high-profile corners, but linebackers have been a forgotten entity. So it's nice that he is getting the love that he has been getting.
You see what he's doing in the other studio.
I'm ignoring it right now because that is a distraction.
I'm directly an eye
Guys,
shot.
he's killing it just like Ray did.
Stop.
You are the Carson Schwesinger fan club president.
Unofficial.
Do they have fan clubs for players and stuff anymore? Like,
yeah,
hey,
Shador, it's on YouTube Live right now.
There's some fan page probably that someone's put up online somewhere.
Like if you see I'm serious. Like remember fan clubs back in the day?
Yeah,
Okay, you send $10 to Estelle Jackson, and she lives in Menor, Ohio. And if you send her $10, then you are in the Clay Matthews fan club, and she's going to send you a packet.
She'll knit something together and have it sent to you. Just make sure you include your address.
That was the way it was back in the day.
Self-addressed.
I think it was in the Brett Bodine fan club. I didn't really like Brett Bodine, but I got a thing of the Junior
Brett Bodine
Johnson
jockstrap?
Lowe's. No, Brett Bodine was a race car driver.
They were.
And I got a.
You were in the Biffle fan club.
I got a monthly pamphlet.
Biffle to Biffle.
I got a monthly pamphlet. The Biffle stuck in the biff. I got a monthly pamphlet of the Junior Johnson number 11 Lowe's Ford that Brett Bodine drove. That's what I had.
What do you have, Mitch?
What do I have?
Yeah, what's your fan club that you've been a part of?
I told you this is an unofficial thing. I haven't gotten anything yet. I'd like to.
Start it.
You want me to start a fan club?
Start the Carson Schwesinger fan club. You got time.
I'll look into it.
Look into it. Just start it. Get a website going and do it.
Chad Curtis.
I mean, it's only been half a rookie season, so I don't want to fully invest in it yet.
What do you mean you don't want to fully invest in it yet?
I like it. I just want to make sure that I'm putting all my.
Did he just mention the Shador Sanders
eggs
fan
in the
club?
proverbial basket.
What do you mean the egg? You are so non-committal to anything.
Yeah, come on, man.
Just put it all in there.
What do you like? Who do you love?
I told you I like Carson Schwesinger.
What gets you excited to get out of bed in the morning?
I was with him Tuesday night. You want me to arrange a meeting between you and him?
Sure, I guess. Yeah, sure. I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. Okay. That's it for about last night.
This guy over here. I mean, it's. Don't you love busting his stones?
He's the best. Mitch, one of these days we want to find out who you really are. Who's really behind that microphone?
You're gonna have to search pretty hard to find it, my friend.
We're gonna do it. This is your life. We're gonna get Garrett on. We're gonna have a big conversation.
How is Gary doing, man?
Doing all right. Talked to him yesterday.
He?
Yep.
Football season ended down there in Strasburg, though. It was a good season.
Very good season.
He just texted me and he wanted you guys to go to break.
Yes.
You know what? I'll do it for Garrett. 9:00, Nathan Zagura going to join us. Coming up next, a inconvenient conversation you don't want to have, but you're going to have. Ken Carman, Tone Master General on the Fan. KC Roofing.
My God. Gets turned into a madman. Dylan Gabriel,
Please.
Joe Flacco, Deshaun Watson, throw in Snoop Huntley. This is what they've done. This is what they've done to him.
Oh, man.
You were like Gacy when he was entertaining the cops in the house.
Come on.
Before they smelled, the smells that they smell.
Dead body. That's
we
the
all know
quarterbacks.
what's going on.
The quarterbacks are in my crawl space.
Yeah, something foul is coming up through the vents.
That's Cody Kessler. Put more lime down there. It's a big game on Sunday. This is the biggest game of the year, guys. I don't care if you're stuck in a traffic jam on 480. I don't care if you're stuck in a traffic jam on 71. I don't care if things are going smoothly on 77. You can sit there and go, oh, Ken, stop it. No, you know I'm right. You know I'm right. You know I'm right. Myles Garrett didn't get you excited. He's sacking everybody. Myles Garrett didn't get you excited. Nope. Carson Schwesinger, you ain't getting hot in the shorts over him. No. Quinshawn Judkins, hell, you're getting cuss-out messages over comparing him to Nick Chubb. You know what can get you excited? Quarterback. Quarterback with a hell of a fan base. Because you've had all them things before. You've had a great defensive end for a long time. You had a great running back. You've had great linebacker play. And what's it got you? In the grand scheme of things, jack. But if a quarterback plays, and the quarterback plays well, that quarterback with that big-ass fan base, that quarterback with that fan base that some Browns fans might be loving, some Browns fans might be absolutely annoyed by, some Browns fans might want to hold on to forever, some Browns fans might want to shoo away forever. It doesn't matter. If he goes out there and he plays well on Sunday against the Las Vegas Raiders, you, me, them, everybody gonna be excited on Monday morning. If you want pragmatism, if you want measured commentary, Monday morning at 6:01 is not your place. If he plays well and they win, and I'm not talking about stat lines, if he plays well and they win, this place is gonna be a zoo. You are going to have to put me in a seatbelt in this chair because I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to be even crazier than I sound right now. I'm dead ass serious. I want it more than I've wanted anything almost in my entire life, which, yes, can be pathetic and sad. But is it the truth? Hell, yes, it's the truth. I am tired of looking for quarterbacks. I am tired of rummaging the bottom of the barrel for quarterbacks. I am tired of looking and hoping for all these others. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to pick myself up and dust myself off and hope for this young man. The odds are stacked against you. Nobody thinks you're going to do well except for your own family and your fan base. I have my doubts. I'm terrified. Bring it home. Go out there, win, start something legendary, start something great, start your own story. Go out there and be excellent. Go out there and take this fan base where it deserves to be. Watching a winner for years to come, please. Let's do it, baby. Let's do it.
This one sounded a little different than when we ushered Dylan Gabriel into the NFL.
I didn't think he had a high ceiling. I still don't. I don't know what I said about Dylan Gabriel, but I don't feel the same way about Dylan Gabriel.
You were expecting pain.
And I got it.
And you got it.
I got it. Zach Rhoda gave him hope. I'm going, this is hope? What's this? This guy's got a higher ceiling, folks. We can do this. And I hope. And if they don't, well, then I guess we'll get ready for the draft. But if they do, if they do, it all comes to fruition. All these guys that we sit there and go, well, at least we have him, at least we have him, at least we have that, at least we have this. It all comes together, guys. It all starts to happen. It all starts to happen. You know it and you feel it. You know I'm right. You know I'm right. If they just find the quarterback. If they don't, hey, then this season is going to be still even longer than it is, and 6 games is going to feel like it takes forever. Might be a little bit early, but I need it. I need it. My God, I need it, and I know you need it even worse. Because at least I get this where I can sit here and rant and rave and scream and yell and do all these things and work out my emotions through you. You guys don't even get that, and it is a privilege. I know that right now. I know it. I need it so bad. I am sick and bleeping tired of the losing and the embarrassment and having to wonder about the next generation of Browns fans, having to wonder about the Youngstown TV market. I am tired of it. And I need a winner. And the only way it's going to happen is if that quarterback plays well. We need a QB to play well, and Shedeur is the next one up, and I hope he's not the next one that's fed to the Lions. I'm being asked if I'm going to burn a couch. I will not be burning furniture on Sunday.
Why not?
Not going to burn furniture. I have a short week coming up. I can't. It's a whole thing, guys. It's not just, you don't just set a couch on fire and walk away from it. You got to do a lot of different things after it's done burning.
Have people over on Thursday, nowhere to sit. Burn
That's
all
true.
the chairs.
I do have an extra couch, but that one's like leather, and it's like, that don't burn well. Sorry. You wanted to bring attention to a clip you've seen on the internet here.
Oh, this is great. So yesterday was a total disaster for the Bills. Are they going to miss the playoffs too? Could we really have a playoffs without the Bills and the Chiefs? There's no way, right? That seems like mathematically impossible. But Buffalo loses last night. They have lost, 2 of their last 3. Okay, their record's, all right, they're 7-4. They still should be fine. But they looked disastrous last night. Josh Allen has started reverting back to some bad habits. He has been turning the ball over more. And last night he was sacked 8 times, including this, as heard on Amazon Prime Video.
Allen, look out from behind, avoids the sack. Still running around. Whoa, and down he goes back at the 24-yard line. Just relentless.
Ooh, down he goes.
He had multiple plays last night where he was going backwards, spinning, turning around, doing all the stuff that has been the biggest flaw on tape that people have mentioned when it comes to Shedeur Sanders. And so it invited the Shedeur fans to come out and say, but Josh Allen's doing it, and you guys love him. You want him to win the MVP every year. Mm-hmm. So, Kenny, is that a valid concern from the Shedeur fans?
If he was in his second game and he was doing that, we would have said the same thing about Josh Allen, because we would have said did say the same thing about Josh Allen. I mean, his first few games of the NFL were absolutely abysmal, and he looked like every bit the bust that people thought he was going to be. They were absolutely the best thing that happened to Josh Allen was he got hurt his rookie year, and he was able to see the field and see things differently because he was a different quarterback when he came back. He really was. I mean, he's always been kind of a wild stallion, but if Shedeur Sanders goes out there and then becomes the MVP and then pulls a stunt like that, like Josh Allen did last night, because Josh Allen, that happens a lot to Josh Allen. We just don't talk about it that much. Yeah, we'll overlook that because Josh Allen has been the reason that his team has won in times. And if Shedeur Sanders becomes the reason that this team wins in certain times, I'm going to give him every benefit of the doubt that we give Josh Allen. It is earned. It doesn't matter about any of that. I'm going to the first NFL start. If Shedeur does that in his first NFL start, I'm going to be sick, and I know that people are going to make jokes about it, and we're going to have to deal with it. That's the way it works. That's how this goes. That's how this is how the internet works in 2025. And it's how it worked in 2018 when Josh Allen first started. So I know that some people want to get that off, and that's fine, but it's really incorrect because I would have said it about Josh Allen in 2018. And I'm sure I did. I think we were together at that time. Yeah, we definitely were. And I was definitely like, yeah, see, this is why this is why we had to go away from this guy. And ended up being wrong.
Well, look, Josh ended up being wrong. Josh did. He got off to a really rocky start in the NFL. And his first few years, it was kind of like, is this even going to be sustainable? Is this guy going to be a franchise quarterback? And then every year, he was combining for 40 to 50 touchdowns every year. This year, he's got 28 right now. Remember, he had 6 last week against, Baker and Tampa. And that's the difference. Like, sure, you can get away with the stuff that Shedeur in college was able to get away with against most teams. He wasn't able to get away with it against the elite teams that he played against. But against most teams, he's able to get away with it because he was able to turn the negative plays into also some spectacular, dazzling, positive plays. I think the major difference is just the size and total athleticism. Like Josh Allen is another creature. Like that guy, I don't know how long he's going to be able to get away with that in the NFL, but when that guy is running around and scrambling the way he does and taking on tacklers like he's like in his prime Ben Roethlisberger, but with way more speed. That's the difference. Shedeur doesn't really have that. He doesn't have that build. If you've ever seen Shedeur just walking around, he kind of looks like a defensive back.
But what you just did, though, is you did make me now make the comparison between a clip of, one is an imaginative thing of Shedeur Sanders because it hasn't happened. Hopefully it never happens. And the other one is what Josh Allen just did last night. But that's the issue that I have, and this is why I have such strong feelings about Sunday's game. Because, I'm going to celebrate like crazy on Monday if he plays well. I know we ain't out of the woods, guys. We got another one coming up against San Francisco, and they're a better team than the almost said a different word, than the Las Vegas Raiders. They're a much better team than them. But I'm going to be excited because I think that he's been able to overcome so much, and if he does, I'm going to be happy that I'm dead wrong about what I thought this was going to be on Wednesday, and I will be excited about his future and look into his future differently. But I'm going to tell you this is part of it, is that Josh Allen, over a course of years, has had to try to break habits, and he's going to have to continue to try to break habits because it's exactly what you said. He's got a rocket arm, he's got accuracy, he's got to get rid of the football. It still seems to be that same way. And I look at Shedeur Sanders and I go, okay, they were able to do this from Josh Allen from 2018 through 2025 and beyond. This is something you always work on. I can't just expect it to be done in 3 days. That's why I don't want to have a whole referendum on the guy based on what just this game is. And that's what bothers me so much about, Shedeur, if he goes out there and he doesn't play well, they're going to go right back to Dylan Gabriel. I'm going, no. If it affects his entire personality and affects his psyche, let's have that conversation. But if we're just figuring it out this year with these young guys, if that's the way I have to look at this, and I'll accept reality, then I'm not going back to that. That doesn't get me going either. If neither are the answer, then fine, neither are the answer. But I'm not just going to go back to that because of one bad day. And if they do it, I'll raise hell. Coming up next, the dangerous one, Daryl Ryder. A inconvenient conversation. I was going to do it here. Do you want to have it with Daryl coming up next? About I brought up Mac Jones. You brought up Davis Mills. Mitch did. There's another guy that might have been mentioned in the same time slot yesterday that we didn't even realize. Ken Carman, Anthony Lima, Daryl Ryder, and 5 on the Fan.
Anthony Lima for the young team. Ryan Young, Keller Williams, Greater Metropolitan, great buddy of mine who's able to help you take control of your listing. It is an amazing, invaluable experience working with the young team, regardless of which side of the transaction you are on. But with the real estate market continuing to be in flux, volatile changes in the interest rates, good news for you is Ryan Young can just simply get you out of your home and be out free and clear, plus with flexibility and allowing you to pick the closing date. How can he do that? The instant cash offer. The first thing it's going to do is give you multiple options. You're going to make sure you're going to get as much money as possible. And in some documented cases, $100K over the original ask.
Market Arena. Darius Garland could make his return. He's currently listed as questionable because of that sore left big toe. Get all the latest Browns content filtered right to your phone during the regular season by following the Browns playlist and 92.3 The Fan on the Odyssey app. Headline sports news every 20 minutes right here on 92.3 The Fan. From the University Hospital Sports Desk, I'm Jeff Thomas.
Daryl. Hi, Daryl.
Hello, boys.
He's brought to you by Scheiben Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store. How you think it's going to go for us on Sunday, Daryl?
I'm pretty optimistic.
You're optimistic? Whoa! Why are you optimistic?
My gut is feeling good about this one. I'm pretty optimistic. I watched the Raiders Monday night against Dallas. What a train wreck. So, yeah, I'm feeling good about the Browns' defense's chances to make some plays, and then I just think that they're going to find a way to get Shedeur comfortable, and hopefully they're able to put some things together.
How much would this do for the coaching staff if they're able to in 3 days make Shedeur comfortable and confident and ready to roll in an entire NFL game? I know that Vegas is bad, and I know that we wouldn't be through the woods here, but they would have to stand for something, wouldn't it, with everybody?
Yeah, organizationally too. At this point, you're looking for anything, right, that resembles hope on the offensive side of things. So if they can find a way to get him comfortable, if they can find a way to help him be productive out there, put together multiple scoring drives, preferably touchdown drives, can you get him close to 250 yards passing in a game, which we've not seen Dylan Gabriel do? Basically, play better than Dylan Gabriel. So the bar is extremely low for Sunday, just to say, just go out there and play better than Dylan Gabriel did.
All right, Daryl, with all of that said...
swallowing with his coffee.
Yeah, sorry about that. With all that said, it's been an interesting week because you had the Dylan Gabriel concussion stuff, and pretty quickly they were able to recognize that he was not going to be able to play. So Shedeur takes over, and obviously, people overreacted to one half of football with Shedeur, which was ridiculous. It looked bad, kind of what I expected to look. You said making him more comfortable. I am fascinated by what they do to go that route because, they can play it safe, do a lot of screen plays, dinking and dunking, getting creative extension of the running game type pass plays, but that's also not Shedeur. So what's the right balance there?
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? I mean, Shedeur is not a dink and dunk type of a quarterback. Now, I think you're going to see a little bit of that in the game to get him into a little bit of rhythm. But Shedeur is a player that wants to take shots down the field. And I anticipate that they're going to at least try to give him some of those opportunities. We've heard all week about... We heard from Tommy Reese. We've heard from Kevin Stefanski about just doing things to make sure they were comfortable, playing to his strengths and whatnot. And let's be honest about it, we've not had a lot of that. And this is the 13th different starting quarterback that Kevin Stefanski has had to deal with here since 2020. And I do feel there's a legitimate argument to be made that they've not done a great job playing to the strengths of the quarterbacks. And that's kind of hard to do when you're changing them out as often as the Browns have had to change them out. But, Shedeur wants to get the ball down the field, so give him opportunities. That's the one thing that I took away, one of the positives that I took away from that second half performance that he had against the Ravens is they had a shot at the end, and the reason they had a shot at the end is because he was throwing the ball more than 5 yards in the air.
Daryl Ryder brought to you by Scheiben Jewelers. Yeah, because I got a little bit perturbed. I shouldn't say perturbed. Albert Breer was on The Fan earlier this week, and he got a lot of people bothered because he had mentioned the throw to Gage Larvidan was brought up. That was broken up. And I was like, well, that's a good defensive play. I mean, he got his arm in there. Some of it's luck, some of it's good defense. And Albert was not going to let up for air on anything. It's no, it wasn't a good throw. And I'm going, oh, who's talking here? Was it really Albert or is it other people? I think that's a look into what the NFL thinks of him.
Yeah.
And why he fell. And I want to see him change that. I want to see him change that badly. Now, I can't force him to do it, But I'm looking at this going, I can't really force him to be into the type of offense that maybe Tommy Rees or Kevin Stefanski are comfortable running. Like, I do think we got to go a lot to Colorado a lot in this game and then work our way back out.
Well, I think, and we saw this, one of the reasons he fell was because, and I said this on a couple of shows this week, I think scouts and talent evaluators looked at that Colorado tape and they looked at some of his other college tape and they were seeing 15, 20, 25-yard losses on film. Now, Shedeur was able to get away with that in college. You can't get those are game killers. They're not just drive killers in the NFL. Those are game killers. And I think that that's what they were looking at is the negative plays. Yeah, he made a ton of positive highlight reel plays when he was in college. But those negative plays cost you games, not just drives. And I think that's what scared a lot of folks because he's got two bad habits that he's going to have to break. And it's going to take time to break them. And the Browns have been really focused on breaking them. And that's the happy feet in the pocket, and that's retreating from the line of scrimmage with his back to the line. We saw that in the second half. And he ended up only being sacked twice. But like the players in the National Football League are bigger, faster, and stronger than college, and they can close ground very quickly in the blink of an eye. So all that open field, all that open space that he used to see when he was at Colorado, yeah, you might see that for a split second in the National Football League, and then it vanishes. So I think that that's what the evaluators saw and got scared away from was the potential for massive negative plays. And if he can break those habits, there's a lot of positive with his game, and I think he can be an exciting player in this league.
That is our Browns beat reporter Daryl Ryder joining the show. As always, we like to turn part of this interview into fan mail. Here we go, Daryl. This is Keith in Avon Lake says, where is all this confidence coming from everyone at the station with Shedeur and the Browns? You guys have been crushing him and the team all year, and now Homer fans coming out of the woodwork. Daryl, your thoughts?
Look, I'm not expecting this kid to go out there and throw for 350 and 4 touchdowns on Sunday, okay? Again, the bar is really low here. I think the most that Dylan Gabriel threw for a game was like $183 this season. He put together 2 or 3 touchdown drives that were really nice, but like that's what you got. You got 1 touchdown drive per game with him. So the bar is really, really low, and I'm confident that Shedeur, with his talent, can like at least get over that bar. And then also, too, Myles Garrett's having a historic season. He is a sack and a half away from breaking his own franchise record for sacks in a season that he's set twice. He's got the NFL sack record in his sights. I watched that game against the Dallas Cowboys. The Raiders' offensive line is a hot mess. Their offense is a hot mess. They've had back-to-back weeks where teams have been able to victory formation against them and kneel down before the 2-minute warning. They don't even have to wait to get to the 2-minute warning to kneel down. I don't know if that's going to happen for the Browns. But, yeah, I think it's okay to be optimistic that this thing is going to go a little better than maybe a lot of people think it's going to go or believe it's going to go. And it has gone for much of this season.
Does Alex Wright's extension mean that Andrew Berry is staying next year?
No, but, I mean, look, that's a deal that you make regardless of your I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that's a deal that ownership would sign off in a blink of an eye. First of all, the $11 million per year average, and listen, 21 of the 33 is guaranteed, but the per year average is right on par for your secondary defensive end pass rusher in the league. It's right in there. As far as budgeting goes, if you will. So I don't think it guarantees that Andrew is staying. But look, these guys are not operating, and fans need to understand this. Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski are not operating as if their jobs are on the line. They're not operating as if they're about to be shown the door. It's business as usual for them. And ownership, and I've told people this, I don't think ownership right now is ready to make changes. What will drive change in that building is discord, not the record. They know the problems. Jimmy Haslam told you before the season this was going to be a 2 to 3 year process, and they've got to find a quarterback. Well, they're on quarterback number 3 this season. Let's hope they don't go to number 4. And this is what they've had to do the last couple of years. They've had to go 3, 4, 5 deep in that room just to get through the schedule. So I think that there's a lot of patience and a lot of understanding on the second floor of that building. And again, what's going to drive change is if there is any type of internal strife that forms between Stefanski, Barry, and within that front office and the coaching staff. And that typically is what drives the Haslams to make change in their building. Otherwise, I think these guys are back right now come 2026. I know people don't want to hear that, but I'm not saying I agree with it, but I think right now these guys are back and they're operating like they're going to be back.
Daryl Ryder brought to you by Scheiben Jewelers. Do you believe that Deshaun Watson will be back on the roster next season?
Yeah, he has to be. That's why they added that, not void, but they added a dummy year to his contract. I believe it was last year for 2027. They did that because they have to stretch out his salary cap hits. Now, just because he's on the roster does not mean he sees the field. But financially, from a cap management standpoint, I'm pretty sure, I have to double check my work on this, but I'm pretty sure he has to be on the roster in 2026. I believe March of 2027 is when they can do the post-June 1 cut to split that final cap hit between 27 and 28. So 2029 is the first year that they're done with him fiscally when it comes to salary cap management. Next year is when they're done with him from a cash payout situation.
Daryl, okay, let me throw this by you. I've been saying Mac Jones is a conversation nobody wants to have, but we're going to have. As of right now, we'll see how Shedeur plays, and maybe over the next 7 games he changes our tune, right? But Mac Jones is a conversation we're going to have, but nobody wants to have. Maybe Davis Mills is that conversation. Could Deshaun Watson be maybe the most expensive bridge quarterback ever? Because think about it like this, Daryl. If Andrew Berry's staying, what's one of Andrew's favorite lines? Quarterbacks are what? They're currency. Yeah. Right? If Deshaun Watson goes out there and plays reasonably well, and we have Fernando Mendoza behind him, let's just say that, right?
Okay.
Yeah, Fernando Mendoza. They could look at it as like, hey, maybe it's a showcase. Every year he plays for us, or every game he plays for us, he's a little bit cheaper to acquire. Can we even get a 7th rounder out of him and say, bye-bye, we're starting fresh with Fernando Mendoza or Dante Moore? Or I'm worried about Ty Simpson because he hasn't played a lot of football, but you get what I'm saying. Like, could that be the possibility there in Andrew's mind, or even altogether the Browns' mind?
Well, here's what you have to understand about salary cap management. Once you trade or cut a player, the remaining cap charges on the duration of what's left of the contract become due, if that makes sense.
But you'd be getting
I understand that,
but for something you never thought you'd get anything for again.
No. I understand that, but you have to have that chunk in cap space available to be able to absorb that hit. That's the only challenge. I understand what you're saying, Ken, but just there is the salary cap management portion of this, because at that point they just cut the guy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No,
so they have to have the salary cap room open for them to be able to absorb the remaining hit left on that contract. So that's the only wrinkle to your theory there.
Because I wonder if that's really his new reality is, people are moving on. I don't know if he becomes a top-end starter again. I don't know if NFL teams see him as that. I mean, he's been injured a lot.
He's been unavailable basically since, 2021?
Yeah.
So he's not been available. And what do they like to say? Your best ability is your availability. And Deshaun Watson, part of it because of him, and then the other part of it just because, that's life, and unfortunately injuries do happen in this sport. I mean, a referee blew out his Achilles last night, non-contact. So I've never seen that one before, but and hopefully he
passed the white hat over.
Yeah, had to hand over the white hat.
Tough.
Again, things you don't see in games all that often, but yeah.
Daryl, tonight, Cup game.
Give it its proper respect, Daryl.
I
give it its give it its proper respect. This is a Cup game, sir.
Cup game.
Yeah, I know. I
14.5-point favorites.
Brought to you by the fine folks at Surfside. Cavs update.
Could be a return of Darius Garland to the lineup tonight.
Please,
Cup game against the Pacers.
Please drink responsibly.
Cup futures on the line. In fact, tonight
it's a rematch of last year's conference semifinals. Can the Cavaliers get revenge?
But this time
on the Pacers,
it means more.
Yeah.
Tonight, Indiana is eliminated from the Cup if they lose, and Toronto wins their game against the Wizards. They are massive favorites tonight. So many permutations for the Cup.
So much is on the line tonight. I can hardly wait.
It's a biggie. Don't forget about...
I am just shaking in my boots with nervousness right now about this game.
Don't forget, point differential matters.
Yes, it does.
It's a Cup game.
Daryl, thank you for the hot time.
You bet, guys. Have a great weekend.
Daryl brought to you by Scheiben Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store. Cup game tonight. You guys need to act accordingly. Special court tonight?
Yes, a special court tonight.
Where do they store all the other courts? Because the arena was built in what, 94? Mm-hmm. You used one court in 94. Oh, then you might have had a MAC court in there. Where do you store all the other courts?
I'm not sure, but if we win it all, I mean...
I know where they store.
Do we need to build a new arena to stack the courts?
I feel like everybody should get one portion of the Cup court. Because it's the Cup.
Nathan Segura.
United
9
Arab
o'clock.
Emirates, the Cup.
We have a turf war with Browns fans, or Browns fans have a turf war on their hands. It's coming up in 5 on the Fan.
It's Anthony.
switch to our sister station, Star 102 at 102.1 FM.
Simply have a holly jolly Christmas.
Or stream live on Odyssey, iHeart, or TuneIn. Sign up to be a part of the fan club. Download the free Odyssey app and follow 92.3 The Fan to get all of the best audio and best stories sent straight to your inbox. 92.3thefan.com.
All right, I'm getting annoyed. Why? Because if you guys just want to sit there and be sad bastards about this thing and just deal with the fine, whatever. And no, I'm gonna focus on the positive. Guys, I ain't changed what I expect. I think Sunday's gonna be a rough day. Okay? I'm hoping. I'm allowed to hope. Am I not allowed to hope? I mean, for the love of God, I just spent 5 minutes with Daryl talking about Deshaun Watson coming back next year. I want Shedeur Sanders to do well. I think there's a lot stacked against him. I think that there's a lot stacked against his team. I think that one of the best things that are about this game coming up on Sunday is it's against the Raiders. And the Raiders are bad. And I think this is a race to who can ever score 20. And by the end of the day, you might be able to get me down to 17 or 18. But I'm excited for the possibilities of what Shedeur can do. And I got, is this clickbait? I don't know, guys. You've known me for a decade now, at least. I may be overly excited at times. I may be overly emotional at times. But I'm allowed to get excited over the possibility of another quarterback. And if he sucks, I'll pick myself up and dust myself off, the same thing as you guys will, and we'll go on about it. There's a difference between hope and expectation. I said it before. If this were 1775, I'd probably pick the British. I think I know who I'd want to win. The Americans. Yes.
Ken is American. And
I am an American.
He's proud of it for sure.
You better believe it. I'm from Perry Township down in Stark County. If Perry played If Perry played Ed, I didn't mean it like that.
Oh, boy.
I didn't mean it like that.
They're in the middle of an exhaustive international search, Kenny.
Guys, that was an honest-to-goodness mistake. I swear to God.
I think right now they've looked at 5 continents, and they still have a few more they could peruse.
If they were to play Eds, I think I know how it goes. I think I would want Perry to win, obviously. Right. But I think I know how it goes. And I think that this is one of the best matchups you could have had, some of the best timing. And his song is perfect timing, and I'm going to take it and run with it as much as I can. Problem is, I'm not a good runner, as you could tell. So here we are, and I hope he does well. But, I mean, come on. What am I supposed to do? Just dump all over this thing? Just dump all over the possibility? No, I'm going to be excited. I'm going to try to.
There's no doubt
in so many ways,
there's an injection of excitement for this game as opposed to if Dylan
truly,
Gabriel
guys,
was
if we want to get truly ugly about it, this is my last chance to get excited in the season. This may very well be it. If he goes out there and they're bad on Sunday and they lose on Sunday, or he's bad and they win, I'm going to go, well, we have the experience of winning and maybe we can build off of that. But I don't think that they can win without him playing well. Because I think that both of these offenses are difficult to watch, and he will have to elevate the Browns offense. And with the defenses that one team has, I think that they'll be able to hold down Geno Smith. I think they should be able to hold down Ashton Genty. And if your offense plays with any rhythm at all, you should be able to win this football game. And his stats don't have to be off the charts or overwhelming or anything like that. That's what I'm going to take from this game. And Lima's not disagreeing with anything I'm saying because he knows it's the truth. And I'm going to try to hopefully build on that. Because if they don't, and he's bad, and they're bad, and they lose, fire up the music. Get the limbo bar. It's Browns vacation time. I'm not supposed to say that. It's probably what it's going to turn into.
Well, I do wonder, we just talked to Daryl about this, the game plan-wise, they could go one of 2 different directions here while it's close and hopefully Browns have the lead, which is, all right, get that running game going and get Quinshon Judkins, who early on in that game last week looked like he could break a few, and instead he ends up getting held to 3-5 a carry again, because he's getting hit behind the line of scrimmage. Instead, it could be establish the run this week, keep everything safe. Maybe what the casuals call dink and dunk, but making sure to not potentially turn the ball over, and then take your shots when they come. When you get the defense on their heels, when you have a chance to take advantage. Maybe the defense forces some turnovers, and then it's quick strike. We did see that last week on one occasion. The others, unfortunately, Dillon could not convert. Or it could be a more risk-reward game plan where it is opening up that offense, trying to test the defense vertically, getting Jerry Jeudy out, getting, Harold Fannin in different spots on the field. The problem with that game plan is also that it could sabotage your chances to win because it could put Shedeur in harm's way to make rookie mistakes and, default back to some of his tendencies. So if you are the brain trust in that coaching staff, which door are you opening? Is it going to be the very conservative game plan, or is it going to be, hey, let's see if this kid has these
What's
gifts?
he most comfortable with?
Well, it's probably door number 2.
Okay, so I'm going to open up door number 2, and I'm going to try to continuously remind him.
But that also is the one
I know
that if it puts him in harm's way,
I understand that.
Could open up the, oh my God, why is he out there? This was supposed to be a redshirt year.
Well, hey, okay, but this is the situation we're in. And a lot of times in sports, we're not in a great situation, right? And yeah, probably you would like a little bit more time with reps and practice and maybe even an entire year. But this is the situation that you're in. So now we got to make the best of it, like we do with a lot of other positions, except he's a quarterback. And so, all right, number 3 is your first read. If he's not there, you got to know the plays. Where's 85? Where's 44? Where's 22? Where's 10? Yeah. Those type of things. Depending on which set you're running, got to be know where those emergency valves are. And I don't care if you want to go big, go big. But I'm not going to be bothered by a check down. I wasn't bothered by a check down with the other guy, so I'm not going to be bothered with a check down by this guy. We'll go ahead and we'll crawl first. But I'm not going to be overly conservative and just try to turn around and hand the ball off if that's not what he is. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to make him as comfortable as possible. Because if I just turn right around and say, well, we're just going to hand the ball off to Quinshon Judkins 35 times, like some of it you might try to work him into an NFL offense. I'm just telling the world I have zero faith in him whatsoever. I ain't going to make him feel any better. I need a confident quarterback because I might be in a situation where it's 10-9 and I need to go down there and get myself a field goal. All I need is 40 yards. Let's go. Let's go down the field and go. I only got a little bit of time here. We got to get going. So I got to give him some confidence. That's why he's in the NFL, for crying out loud. So I'm going to be doing a lot of gun, and that's where I'm going to be at. Where's your first read? Where's your second read? I don't want you taking off. Don't drift. Don't hold on to the ball. Do the old Tom Moore thing. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, go. 1, 2, go. As fast as you can. Speaking of getting fast as you can, getting the ball out as fast as you can, we got to get to Nathan as fast as we can. Nathan Zagura gonna join us next. How would he make Shedeur Sanders comfortable? Well, let's find out with great Nathan. He's next on The Fan.
Anthony Lima for Mentality Health, and this is the time of the year where it feels like you're running out of time, not enough hours in the day, and you want to make sure to seize control. Again, you can do it with Mentality, your local experts in testosterone replacement therapy, and unlike online-only services, Mentality offering in-person consultations. So if you're feeling tired all the time, might be more than just stress.
sore left big toe. Want to catch highlights from the Fan from earlier today? Get over to 923thefan.com or favorite 923 The Fan on the Odyssey app for all today's headline segments. Headline sports news every 20 minutes right here on 923 The Fan. From the University Hospital Sports Desk, I'm Jeff Thomas.
Whenever you need to talk about the Browns, we got you covered. We are Sports Radio 92.3 The Fan.
Coming in hot, 9:45, and I think there's going to be a bonus edition of Coming in Hot later on today. Come on out, 11-1. We're benefiting Shoes and Clothes for Kids, Bomber Sports Cards, 203 East Royalton Road, Broadview Heights. It's the emerging podcast scene presented by Extend Technologies. We'll be at Bomber Sports Cards, 11-1, supporting Shoes and Clothes for Kids. Come on out. We will do a live Coming in Hot Q&A. You come on out. You bring in some socks, right? Not worn. Don't take your socks off your feet and expect to hold the mic. But say you bring in some socks, or you bring in some skivvies, or you bring in some shoes, or whatever. I'll put you on the mic. You can ask me any question you want. Same with Tony, except for politics. No politics.
And by the way, we were advised not to do this by our bosses.
And we decided we're going to do it. It's only on YouTube. It's the YouTube Live. You can watch it live on YouTube coming up at 11 o'clock. It's going to be fantastic. Trust me, you guys are going to love this. You're also going to love Nathan Zagura, who joins us right now on the Fan Hotline. Hello, Nathan.
Good morning, Monfrere. How are you?
Doing well. How do you think Sunday's going to go?
I think the Browns need to get a win, and I think they've got a very good opportunity to do so in Las Vegas against a Raiders team that is struggling and against a Raiders team where I think kind of their weaknesses match up pretty well with our strengths. So I'm optimistic about the Browns' ability to go in there, get a win in Shedeur Sanders' first start against the Raiders, and hopefully kind of get a little bit of momentum here as we come back for 2 games at home against the Niners and the Titans.
Nathan, what do you think of the reaction from one half of football? Because on Monday, we came in here saying it's a little absurd, no matter who the quarterback is, but obviously because it's Shedeur, because of his fame, his fan base around the nation, we knew that was going to happen. So did you think it was patently unfair, or did you think, hey, well, he played poorly, that's what you get?
I mean, there's so much to the discussion, I think, around Shedeur. I think that, look, he came in there in a situation which is a very difficult thing to do for a backup quarterback, where we know that not just Shedeur, but backups around the league don't get reps during the week. Now, of course, they're in the meetings, and we found out, obviously, Shedeur Sanders gets one-on-one time with Kevin Stefanski every week, but still, it is a difficult thing because game plans are put together in collaboration with the quarterback. So the things that were in that game plan, in most cases, were things that Dylan Gabriel really liked, concepts that he liked, and concepts they thought would work against that defense of the Baltimore Ravens for Dylan Gabriel. So he has to come in there. They put some things in. And I thought there are a couple things I saw that made me optimistic going forward. Obviously, 4 of 16 is not good, but I thought on that final drive he did look good. We know what we've got to eliminate: holding the ball, trying to escape backwards out of the pocket. He's got to be very careful. He likes to shift the ball from his right hand to his left hand when he's trying to escape, and the ball got knocked out against the Ravens. So there are things to clean up, but what you saw is when he did have a good pocket and he understood what he was seeing, he was able to deliver the football. And I'll go to one play, the one to Harold Fannin, the first play of the last drive. I actually have a play breakdown of that on ClevelandBrowns.com, the Browns mobile app you can check out. But that was a play we actually had run earlier in the game with Shedeur Sanders in his first possession, where you use on one side, it's a deep post, on the other side, it's a deep dig. And you're reading the single high safety. Now, the first time he got 2 high safeties. He checked it down to David Njoku underneath. So then they come back, and you saw the linebackers jump down on Njoku, gave him that window. He saw it, and he ripped it to Harold Fannin. He read that deep safety perfectly. He was deeper than the deepest. Middle of the field was open, and he threw it right there to Harold Fannin for 25 yards. So I thought that was encouraging. I thought when he spun out and he had the shot down the field to Isaiah Bond, now that's one that I think he normally would hit. Maybe it was just a little amped up, but still good recognition, good throw. And then the throw to Gage Larvin was a great throw, great catch, and then an even better defensive play as Chidobe Awuzie knocked the football out. But I think it was better than 4 of 16, but at the same time, there's a long way to go for this to be at the level that we need it to be. Now, this week, he's going to get every single rep in practice. The game plan, as I talked to Kevin Stefanski yesterday, is being put together collaboratively with Shedeur. And here's the other thing. Shedeur has done a good job. If you go back to the Carolina game, or you go even in that Ravens game, when he gets a single high look, especially cover 3, he's been very effective. And guess what? The Raiders play more cover 3 than any team in the NFL. Now, they don't blitz a ton. You better believe they're going to blitz. So the Browns have got to be ready for that. Shedeur Sanders has got to be ready for that as well. So I think you'll see some screens, some draws, some max protect situations where you're going to try to get a shot against the blitz if you can pick it up and have some answers for that, because I know the Browns have to be ready for that.
Nathan Zagura joining us on the fan hotline. Very interesting how I don't want you to say anything that could be getting you in any trouble whatsoever.
I love when you set up questions like this. It's great.
Well, Lima said this before the show, and it's like, how all of a sudden does Max Crosby and the rest of the defensive line end up on the injured list out of nowhere? And they're all limited. Like, oh, I don't know, they're limited. They can play, they could not play. It throws me off.
Let's see what they do here on Friday, right? Let's see what their injury designations are. Max Crosby is the kind of guy that is not going to just, I think, take a game off. Now, I think what you're getting at is draft positioning for 2026 and beyond and things of that nature.
Lucky Fatu ends up on there. Mason Crosby ends up there. I know
some gamesmanship here.
Laulu is on there, but he was there at the beginning of the week.
Yeah, but those guys are limited. I mean, it's not like we're getting guys going all of a sudden DNP. Now, if they don't practice on Friday, that'll be a different thing. I think both these teams want to win. Pete Carroll, I think, is not in a position where he's thinking so much about his future. I think right now, the way things are going there, it feels like it could be one and done. Geno Smith probably feels like he's playing for kind of his football life right now, the way that he's struggled this year, leading the league with 13 interceptions. So no, I do not think that they're going to go out there and just kind of pull their quality players. Now, if you all of a sudden Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty and Max Crosby are inactive, now then I think that would raise quite a few eyebrows. But I think both of these teams need to win. Losing and the notion, and we've dealt with it here, right? The notion that, we're playing for next, it's just hard. It takes a toll on a fan base, and that's a Raiders organization. I thought Pete Carroll said in his press conference this week where, he said their last game felt like they were on the road, right? They were playing the Cowboys. It was a pro-Cowboy stadium. And he said, we need to win so that we can get this place rocking for us. We need to put that product on the field. So I think that's something that fans think about, media thinks about, but I don't think that's anything that an NFL team thinks about anymore. It's just the toll of losing is too great.
Nathan Zagura joining us on the show. The Alex Wright extension. I'm a big fan of Alex Wright. Spoke about it earlier today. What do you think it does for him, for the football team? How good a news was this for you?
Great news. So first of all, it means that he's got to be the most successful person. We already knew he was the tallest person, but now he's got to be the most successful person to ever come out of Elba, Alabama. So good for him, doing a heck of a job there for Alex Wright. I think it's a great contract, not only for the player, Alex Wright getting the 3 years, $33 million, but also for the Browns, because now you've got that bookend opposite Myles Garrett locked in there. And when Alex Wright came in the league, they knew it was going to be a couple of years of development, just kind of a big player out of the University of Alabama, Birmingham. It was going to take some time to adjust to the NFL game. Well, that adjustment has happened, and he has been incredibly productive for the Browns. 3 sacks this year, career high 9 tackles for loss, and I think he gives them that big end. He is strong. He is physical. He is violent. I love this signing. He's a guy that I wanted them to lock up in the middle of this season. You get basically when you trade Greg Newsome for Tyson Campbell, that's another spot that's now locked up for the future. He's under contract. By the way, I think he has been phenomenal for the Browns, not only in coverage, but last week takes on Patrick Ricard. I mean, what more could you want from a cornerback to do that and still make the play? And then I think another guy that the Browns probably have to look at, in season, if there's another in-season extension, is maybe Devin Bush. Devin Bush has played really, really well for this football team. Unfortunately, we don't know what the future holds for Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, and the idea of being able to keep Carson Schwesinger and Bush together for the future, I think, is also good. So I think this could be the first of a couple of kind of extensions that we see, this probably being the most high profile of those extensions that we see here with Alex Wright. But this, I think, is a great signing. And if Alex Wright is a quality number 2 defensive end, which certainly it appears that he is that for the Cleveland Browns, this contract will be seen as a very good contract, especially if he continues to ascend over the next 3 years.
Nathan, Jim Brown, former Browns running back in 1963, combined for over 2,000 yards in 14 games. 1964, he had a big season, and they won the championship. But could I call Myles Garrett's season, if he tracks down the all-time sack record and continues this level of dominance, can I call this the greatest individual season in Cleveland Browns history?
I think it's going to be the greatest defensive season in Cleveland Browns history, and he's got a couple things to shoot for to make it the greatest defensive season in NFL history. I think that's so hard to say, different eras, different games, all of that. But what Myles Garrett is doing right now is nothing short of spectacular. It's like, oh man, he got 4 sacks. It wasn't even like that big of a deal. In fact, the NFL has not rewarded him for getting 5 sacks in a game or 4 sacks in a game with the defensive player of the week. It went to a linebacker who, yes, he racked up 20 tackles, but that also means the other team's on the field quite a bit, running a lot of plays. I think they're very different types of plays, but Myles Garrett right now, here's one of the stats I think is wild. Number 1, 10 sacks last 3 games. The only other time it's happened, Richard Dent, the Hall of Famer of the Chicago Bears in 1984. So he's done something that has not happened in the NFL in 41 years, 10 sacks in 3 games. Now, the other thing, and we got quarterbacks getting the ball out quicker than ever, all of those things. It's really kind of incredible, not to mention the fact Richard Dent was on a team that was beating a lot of people. And so they were ahead, teams had to throw. That has not been the case. That's one of the things that's so impressive about what Myles Garrett has been able to do. Now, the other part of it is last year, we'll go back. This game on Sunday is going to feature the last 3 leaders in tackles for loss. Mason Crosby led the league with 22 tackles for loss in 2022. Then he led the league with 23 tackles for loss in 2023. Myles Garrett led the league with 22 tackles for loss last year. Myles Garrett already has 22 tackles for a loss this season. He has an opportunity to get into the 30s in tackles for loss. Now, that's only happened one other time in NFL history. J.J. Watt one year had 39 tackles for a loss. 39. He had 39, 29, 28. Those are the 3 most in a single season in NFL history. So Myles Garrett has a chance to set the sack record. I think he has a chance to chase down that tackles for a loss record. And I think he's going to be the defensive player of the year. I think if we were better in terms of our record, I think he'd be in the conversation for MVP. Now, the Browns, I think, are also in a great position to do something a little historic, which is wild given the overall situation, but that's to have the defensive player of the year and the defensive rookie of the year on the same team. That's something that's only happened one time in NFL history before, and it was the same player, Lawrence Taylor, as the rookie of the year and defensive player of the year for the Giants.
Nathan Segura joining us on the show. You think Joe Burrow is going to play on Sunday?
I kind of do. I mean, it would be kind of wild because they've been targeting that day against Baltimore. Now, at the same time, they're kind of on the verge of being out of it if they're not yet quite fully out of it. So maybe they think, hey, we got to get him back out there. We got to get a win. We got to jump into this thing. They won't have Jamar Chase. But if you're practicing fully, now, as I pointed out, that could mean a lot of different things. Practicing fully could mean that, yes, he's practicing in full and he's taking the first team reps. Now, Joe Flacco is also limited. Practicing fully could also mean he's running the scout team and doing so, and that would be his role as the backup quarterback this week. So we don't really have insight unless somebody from Cincinnati ever kind of spills the beans, since we're a very first-team rep-obsessed society these days, if he's getting any first-team reps. If he was getting all the first-team reps, then he's absolutely playing on Sunday.
I like that line you had in there, Nathan. Well, see, this is the weird thing is that they're 3-7. If he plays this week, like, how injured is he? Because they're saying he looks outstanding. Well, if he looks outstanding and say they still lose, it's like, well, wait a minute. You're supposed to be the leader of this football team. I guess you're going back out there next week, too, on Thursday and playing. Like for a second,
once he plays, he's playing the rest of the way.
Exactly. Like for a second, I'm like, well, I was expecting him to be limping around and all this stuff and trying to Willis Reed it, and it's like, well, if he can go, then you're the leader of the team. You got to go because that would set a bad precedent in the locker room. So he would go the rest of the way.
100%. 100%. And they got to try to get through this game without Jamar Chase, and then they got to try to beat the Ravens, and then try to get to 5-7 and feel like they've got a chance to, run the table to 10-7. And if you have Joe Burrow, of course you can do that. Their biggest issue, though, has not necessarily been quarterback play. Joe Flacco put up back-to-back games of over 38 points and threw the ball very well for them, and they lost both of those games. So that Cincinnati one, they're in a tough spot. But, yeah, I think if he's ready to go, he will go, and I think he'll play out the rest of the season as long as he's healthy.
Nathan, I know you're a football fan. You watch the league a little bit here and there. Kansas City right now is the 9 seed. At 5-5.
Yeah.
All right. Buffalo, after last night's tough loss against a really good defense, 7-4. They're the 6th seed. Denver at 9-2 is the number 1 overall seed with the Patriots tied at 9-2. Who is coming out of the AFC this year to represent the conference in the Super Bowl?
Oh, that's a good question. I thought you were going to say who's going to even make the playoffs, because right now you've got the Texans, the Chiefs, and the Ravens, who are all on the outside looking in. The Jags are currently in right now. The Bills, as you mentioned, are in. I think the Ravens, I think their best path is to track down the Steelers and make it there. I still think coming out of the AFC, listen, if the Chiefs get into the playoffs, you've got to consider them very likely. This is one of those years, though, honestly, where I feel like it is as wide open as it's ever been in both conferences, honestly. Like, I think from the AFC, the teams that I realistically think can represent the AFC this year are probably Chiefs, Ravens, Broncos. They just find a way to win. Patriots. I don't think the Bills team is complete enough. I like the Chargers a lot, but with their offensive line, I don't know if they can make the run. And then the Colts, I still like them, and yes, they're very good, but I think Danny Dimes, I've got to see it in the postseason before I'm just saying that they're going to come out of there.
Well, Nathan,
quick,
you saw Drake May against a really good Browns defense where Myles Garrett dominated, but he still kind of overcame it. Why not say the Patriots? Why are you stopping short of saying that?
Answer the man.
I thought I did say the Patriots. Absolutely the Patriots.
So
100%.
They could be going to the Super Bowl.
I think so, yeah. Drake May is excellent. They are one of those teams that, if you kind of look at their offense, and just to use a little bit of a basketball analogy, the Pacers, they had Halliburton, but that was kind of a team last year when they went on their run through the playoffs that everybody kind of just understood their role and just did it, and it wasn't like they had all these different megastars. They just kind of were a really good basketball team, and that's kind of how I feel about the Patriots. Everybody on that team just understands their job, does their job. Their superstar is obviously Drake May. They're finally getting Travion Henderson going, so that gives them an electric factor, not only in the run game out of the backfield as a pass catcher. Diggs has played well. Boutte has been kind of the deep threat. When he's been out, then you've had Pop Douglas step up. So this is a team, and they got the two tight ends, Hunter Henry and not Austin Hooper, the former Brown, who have kind of understood their roles, and they're just efficient. May is really good. He's a much better runner than I think people realize. And then defensively, they're solid. And Mike Vrabel has that team believing and playing very, very well. So, no, I think the Patriots are absolutely in the mix. And that's what's kind of fun about this. That's why I think it's so wide open on that side. I think in the NFC, it's a little less wide open in the teams that I really think actually could get there. The Eagles aren't playing well, but I still think they could get there. They're defending Super Bowl champs. And then I think you've got the Rams, Seahawks, and 49ers, all of whom have a chance to make it to the Super Bowl. And the NFC North right now is interesting. They're all kind of beating each other up, but we'll see how that shakes out. But I think this is going to be a fun playoffs because I think if you're in, you've got to feel like you've got a pretty good chance to get there. I think there are 10 teams that honestly in their buildings truly believe they have a chance to win the Super Bowl this year, which has not been the case recently.
Nathan, thank you for the time. All the very best to you and yours.
All right, thank you.
Nathan Zagura on the Fan Hotline. Coming up next, some audio you need to hear about how good a season it is for Myles Garrett and why some people are mad because they think it's going to be such a waste, and how you think it's going to go on Sunday. It's that simple. That simple. This is as odd of a moment as we've ever had, and a turf war for Browns fans. Ken Carman, Anthony Lima, live on the Fan. Window Nation and Window.
It's going to be the greatest defensive season in Cleveland Browns history, and he's got a couple things to shoot for to make it the greatest defensive season in NFL history. I think that's so hard to say, different eras, different games, all of that, but what Myles Garrett is doing right now is nothing short of spectacular. So Myles Garrett has a chance to set the sack record. I think he has a chance to chase down that tackles for loss record, and I think he's going to be the defensive player of the year. I think if we were better in terms of our record, I think he'd be in the conversation for MVP.
I appreciate Nathan Zagura going past your question, your leading question, to try to make him out to be a person that said that Myles Garrett is bigger to the franchise than Jim Brown.
That's not
what that's exactly what you did.
No,
that's exactly what you did.
Would you like to play the question again? There wasn't a bigger.
Play the question again. That's what you said. I mean, you wanted to say it was a bigger season and that he means more to the franchise than Jim Brown.
I did not say means more to the franchise.
I think that's what you were aiming at. You wanted Nathan to say that is what you wanted, and you almost got what you wanted, but Nathan's too smart.
Even I included that Jim Brown had a Super Bowl, had a championship season in 1964.
Okay.
So I asked, could we be witnessing, could we be experiencing right now and living in it the best season in Cleveland Browns history for an individual player?
Go ahead.
Could I call Myles Garrett's season, if he tracks down the all-time sack record and continues this level of dominance, the greatest individual season in Cleveland Browns history?
I think it's going to be the greatest defense.
Greatest defense.
What more would he have to do for it to be the best individual? Like, did they have to use him on offense?
And the best individual season in Browns history? Because I can't imagine
a Browns player playing better than what Myles Garrett's playing.
Well, yeah, but you weren't there to see Jim Brown. Neither was I, for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't imagine how Jim Brown played because I wasn't alive for Jim Brown. I wasn't here yet.
And how many Hall of Famers was Jim Brown playing with?
How many plumbers was Jim Brown playing against?
Oh, okay, here we go. Kyle Brandt, he's kind of wandering around the same lines. This is Good Morning Football from Tuesday. Kyle Brandt went on a bit of a rant.
Understand that Myles Garrett is likely, in my opinion, going to break the sack record, which is one of the records that we do really follow and remember. He's probably going to do it in Week 18 on a last-place terrible team on the road against a terrible Cincinnati team, not even so much as the Browns fans being there to celebrate, to cheer for him. This is weird. This is not going to be memorable. This is not going to be something that we're like, wow, that great 2025 Myles Garrett season. At least TJ Watt is 22.5. And he tied the record. He did that in the final week of the season against the Ravens to get the Steelers into the playoffs. They had some stakes. This is empty calories. It's a football shame to me. And this is going to follow Myles Garrett around. This is not going to be a great thing for him. It's going to be looked at, oh yeah, like you were on that terrible team and you took tons of money after saying you didn't want to be on the team. And then you showed up and the team sucked like you knew it would and you had a bunch of sacks. I hope he doesn't get the sack record. I don't want it to be. I want it to be on something more triumphant, more memorable, and not so loaded and negative. I hope he doesn't get it.
Well, I was with him halfway through, and then all of a sudden I was like, whoa,
I wasn't with him at all.
All right, explain your part first.
If anything, the fact that this team is in the shape they are, and they're sitting at 2-8, one of the worst offenses in recent memory, and if you go by the stats, it really is, then he's not getting a chance with a 2-score lead to just rush the passer time and time again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if anything, this should be a mark for him rather than against him.
I agree.
Now, I understand, like, this season is not going to jump off the charts to fans around the NFL because he's not making a playoff push. Like, how amazing would it be to see Myles Garrett playing this way? He's so much better than he was in 2020 when they went to the playoffs. Imagine seeing Myles Garrett on a really good playoff team making a Super Bowl march and having him go Aaron Donald in the Super Bowl. Like, that could happen if he was on a team like that. It can't happen on this team. So, no, he's not going to get that acclaim nationally. However, to use the lack of wins like against him, to me, it only shows how good he is because it's so few opportunities for him.
I think you're right, especially as Mary Kay said with us yesterday, as Daryl said with us today, Nathan said with us today. There's a lot of situations where teams are running out the clock against you. They're up and they're up big. and they're going to run the football so you don't get that many opportunities. What Kyle Brandt says, I think a lot of people do feel the same way. He got kind of personal with it where you signed the contract. Miles signed the contract, and I know that we've been back and forth on that with a lot of things and a lot of feelings of what it is. I tend to think of it as you are getting the most honest Myles Garrett you could possibly get now, and he's basically Miles and Wadsworth. Some of the stuff that he says in his Friday press conferences or post-game press conferences, I'm sorry, guys, callers have said the same thing. He might be a little less angry when he says it seems, but callers have said some of the same sentences that Miles said because he knows he's here basically forever now, and that's the way that this is going to work. And for him, it's not always perfect, but I don't think he was just some guy who, it'd be nice if there were stakes. That's true. And it is going to be a game that, in the national scheme of things, probably doesn't matter as much as a lot of other games. He's right. Kyle Brandt is right about that. But when it comes to the accomplishment, it wasn't like he just did this just to get empty calories and that's it. He asked for a trade. He could have got traded. Hell, we could still revisit it this offseason and he could get traded. I don't think he will, but we could still revisit it this offseason and he could get traded. But I don't think that this was some sort of a destiny to fulfill your own personal selfish pride of going out and getting stats. I think it becomes that. Selfish is a strong word, but I think it becomes more and more personal because you're 2-8. But I don't think he set out to go 2-8.
Not to mention,
he may very well knew that this wasn't going to be a good team. Players lie to themselves all the time about how good a team's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Strahan, they were 7-9 the year that he set the record. It's almost more infamous.
Brett Favre gave it to him, and Mark Gastineau gave it to Brett Favre later on in that documentary.
That's why I said it's almost more infamous than famous what he did that year. So I understand where he's coming from, that it will not seem as relevant, but to dock him because of the team, because of the offense not being good. I mean, really, that's what J.J. Watt was saying about him not winning Defensive Player of the Week. Like, you're not giving it to him because his offense isn't good enough?
Yeah.
What sense does that make?
It will be, like, I look at some of the guys who've been on great teams, and yes, being on a great team, it ups your history. If Joel Bitonio were on a great team, I do believe he'd be a Hall of Famer. But he hasn't been on a great team. He won't be a Hall of Famer. I'm very sad to say that. You have to be at an obscene level, and Myles Garrett's at an obscene level. Joe Thomas was at an obscene level for a long period of time. Anthony Munoz, when I got to really see him, he was at the end of a career that was illustrious and on a team that was terrible. I didn't know much about the 2 Super Bowls that he played in. That certainly helps during that time. So if he played on a better team, the 85 Bears, there were some good players on the 85 Bears. There's one in particular that we definitely overrate, but because he was on the 85 Bears, and he's a great
Ditka, but I've seen a lot of that lately. Like, are we sure Mike Ditka was some Hall of Fame coach?
If you talk about Walter Payton like that.
I'm not talking about Walter Payton. He should have scored the touchdown in the Super Bowl. That's what I'm talking about.
You didn't like the Fridge?
I like the Fridge just fine. He's a fan favorite.
I liked him in celebrity boxing.
That right there, you should be in football hell for letting somebody else score a touchdown.
Did Manute Bol beat him?
How on earth you let somebody else score a touchdown other than Walter freaking Payton? You should be in football hell. I'm sorry, you were destined to do bad. The football gods made sure you were destined to do poorly in New Orleans because of that. And some of that is 13 years of working with Gerard rubbing off on me, because we all know how Gerard feels about Mike Ditka. 216-474-0092. Yeah, I feel when it comes to Miles' legacy, I think he could break the sack record this year. I think people say they come in bunches, and they're right. He could go 0 for this year, and then or 0 for this week.
He's not going 0 for this week.
I don't think he is, but if he did, if you're Pete Carroll and if you're Chip Kelly, you could just go, this is a great defense. I'm circling 95 and working my way out of it. Because this is what's going to be difficult.
But that's what's funny. The Ravens did that on 2 rollouts to the opposite direction of Miles. Miles still got sacks last week.
I know that. But Geno's going to be focused on getting rid of that damn football. Lamar will carry it for a while. So if Geno tries to get rid of it, Miles could come up with nothing this week, and then all of a sudden you got 6 games to go out there and get it. It starts to become more daunting as time goes on. Like, he's not out of the woods. I think he could get there. But I'm not going to guarantee it. But if he does, yeah, there will be a bit of an asterisk in some way where it's like, hey, he was on a really bad football team for a lot of his career, but he was one of the greatest we ever saw. And that's just going to still follow him around. But I don't think it takes away from his accomplishment, and I don't want to really make him out to be. It's almost villainous the way that Kyle Brandt talks about him in that sense. And I don't think he's a villain. 216-474-0092. I say the number because it's time. Coming in Hot is coming up next. Please keep your comments within the boundaries of good taste. If you can't make it on Coming in Hot here, it's easy. All you need to do, bring something for Shoes and Clothes for Kids, whether it be a donation of socks or skivvies or something like that. Bring it to Shoes and Clothes for Kids. Over at 203 East Royalton Road, we'll be doing the emerging podcast scene over there starting at 11 o'clock, 11 to 1. And you can do a Q&A, and you can go ahead and ask us any question you want other than politics, and I'll answer it right there, and it'll be on YouTube Live as well on 92.3 The Fan's YouTube page. So that starts at 11. So if you can't make it now for Coming in Hot, you can make it then. But you got to bring something for the kiddos. That's the way this works. 203 East Royalton Road. 216-474-0092. Coming in Hot. Coming up next on The Fan.
Anthony Lima.
asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
All day long.
All day.
All the time.
At work.
923thefan.com and the Odyssey app.
Check it out.
This is Coach Kevin Stefanski, and it's time for Coming In Hot.
Oh, it's time to go. It's time for Coming In Hot. 216-474-0092. Remember, if you can't make it to Coming In Hot right now, you can do it later on, 11 o'clock. We will be at Bomber Sports Cards, 203 East Rolton Road, beautiful Broadview Heights. I will be there. Tone will be there. We will have other special guests joining us on the phone. It is going to be a good time, and hopefully a good time had by all of us. Are you ready, Tone?
Yes. Oh, I've been waiting all day. Licking my chops.
Here we go with Coming In Hot.
All right, Cleveland, it's time to get whatever you want off your chest. Cleveland, you're coming in hot. The phone lines are open now.
216-474-0092. Please keep your comments within the boundaries of good taste. Hello, you're coming in hot.
Bum 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 bum. Daisy dip, bring me a chip, give me a flavor that just makes me flip. Give me some ranch or that French onion mix. Give me a flavor that just makes me skip. Kenny Carman, He dips it with wings. He dips it with pizza and his collard greens. He dreams of dipping in every scene. Kenny Carman, king of daisy dipping. All right, that's all I got.
Very good. It's very good. That's how you do it, folks.
Oh, yeah.
It's easy. No!
Up close and personal with Bubba.
Oh, man. I had my water bottle in my hand. I didn't have my finger.
Had it.
No, I didn't have my finger on the trigger. Oh, no.
Walsh Hoban tonight. Who you got? Walsh giving 1.5.
Walsh is giving 1.5?
Oh, yeah.
Taking Walsh. Taking Walsh. I was at the game last week.
Yeah.
Let's go. Hello, you're coming in hot.
Hey, this was your first Gas Bag of the Week award, right?
Yes.
Well, they obviously just discovered you.
It's true. It's hey, I'd rather it's nice to be known eventually.
Yeah.
Look how short and to the point that was.
There you go. Hello, you're coming in hot.
One of my vendors handed me an envelope with a smile and a wink and said, "Hey, I got you tickets to see a show called Yo-Yo Ma." And I was wondering, what could that possibly be?
Can Menor keep it close tonight, Kenny, against Eds?
Yes. Yeah, they're a really good football team. They're really good. That's gonna be a tough one there. Hello, you're coming in hot.
Hey.
Hello. Hello.
Hey, just want to talk about, the Browns need to talk about their development because I'm seeing guys on them hot routes when Shedeur was out there where they're not.
Knew that was going to happen.
That's the problem.
Something's going weird on the phone.
19 other hours. 19 hours, 40 minutes of programming.
Yeah, he's right. Hey, I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules around here. It's just he's one.
I don't make the rules around here.
He's the one that does it, not me.
Just trying to break down some football.
Were you going to ask me about the other games?
I got it right here.
What do you got?
What do you think, Maslin? 14.5, Big Walnut?
I think Maslin's
going to hang in there?
Beat the brakes off Big Walnut. I think it's going to be a small walnut by the end of the game. Huh, Owen?
Wow.
Hey-o. Hello, you're coming in hot.
The flamethrower is back at it.
Hello, you're coming in hot.
You heard about the BTK killer, but tonight on Netflix, you'll learn about the FFB slayer, the fatty boombalati slayer, Ken Carman, known around town as the jovial radio host living in Chateau de Carman on his opulent $8.47 an hour salary as a radio host. Ken secretly lived a life killing radio producer hosts behind his opulent home in the swamp where the blue heron lived. First was this appearance of a victim named Landry, and witnesses only heard Ken yelling, "That's Bolsheviks! I'm the only on-air talent!" then a disappearing AA victim, where Ken was heard yelling at him in the studio, "Sleep and propose to your ungrateful girlfriend, you Jazz fan." And then finally, a man so badly disfigured by staple wounds that he was only identified by his leather vest and smokes, where Ken was heard to be yelling at him, "You made me do this, you bitch!" with special interviews with Special Agent Dennis Firecrotch, only on Netflix.
Made me do this, you bitch! I thought for a second it wasn't going to go well.
Was Mitch granted a reprieve?
Well, Mitch is still here for now. Okay,
he's turning state's witness.
So real quick, Mitch sent us the thing of
it's a whistleblower case.
The Carman family murders on Netflix. And what did I tell Mitch? Do you think Mitch, are you there? Mitch
I'm
can't
here.
hear me. Oh, did you believe me when I said that was a distant relative and I can't say much because he tried to implicate me in the family murders?
For about a second and a half.
Okay. I think it's up until now. Hello, you're coming in hot.
Guys, I'm hoping for the best, but we've been dealing with overhype for this guy since way back in the winter. And we've had sign after indicator that things are going to go bad, but his fans are just
out there at Bomber Sports Cards.
Wow.
You better stay away from politics. Avon and Highland tonight, Kenny. Big showdown.
Well, I saw what Mike Elder said, and I happen to agree. He said playing Highland's like playing Avon. It's like Avon playing Avon.
They got away with one last year.
I thought I would get him quick enough he didn't have to dump it. That's my bad. Okay. Hello, you're coming in hot.
I just don't want to let the other side have their time.
Hey, friends, Ken Carman here for Enbridge Gas. Did your gas go down? That's okay. Just hook me up to your gas line. I'm full of gas.
Oh, my God.
I'm the biggest gas bag there is around.
Is that you, Lebitard? Kenny.
What?
Vazage versus Kopka. Villa Angela St. Joe's and CBCA. It's the battle of the acronyms.
Vazage versus Kevka.
Hey. Most words in the names in the state.
That's not my number one watch on today.
No.
Is Vazage versus Kevka. I'm going to take Vazage. I'm going to take Vazage in that game.
You seen that running back, by the way?
Oh, which one?
The one who needs to be getting some offers.
They got twins. Are you talking about Kevka?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's twins.
No, Village of St. Joe's.
I haven't seen Vazage's this year.
Yeah.
I saw last year that Bo Jackson was playing for Vazage.
Yeah, another good one.
Not seen
Hello, you're coming in hot.
Man, I guess Shador's ring camera didn't have first-team reps.
No, I don't know where you were going, and I wasn't going to accept it. We only got so much left in the dump.
And Rocky River pull it off against Toledo Central Catholic. Big underdogs tonight. I think it's already
been a great season for Rocky River.
In more ways than one, it's already a congratulations on all your success.
If they get it, I hope the people in Rocky River are watching. If they win it, play it forever.
The prestigious Avalon neighborhood. Are you kidding me?
I don't spend that much time in Rocky River. I'm not familiar.
I know that I have the
I'm not familiar.
Sweater.
Okay. Brewery's supposed to open again soon.
Glenville and Perry.
I'm going to take Glenville.
Sitting here talking sports.
What else?
You care about Paycor Stadium. 2 Cincinnati.
I care about what that one school accused the other school of doing to their locker room. I thought that was pretty damn ridiculous. Making those accusations.
What kind of pain can you inflict on a locker room after a tough loss with tough calls?
Apparently, it lasts for 3, 4, 5 weeks, and all of a sudden they're blaming them for it.
Kirtland and Garraway. Kirtland, 18.5.
It's been a nice season for the Pirates. Been a nice year. Got anybody else?
I think that's it.
Okay. Big thanks to everybody who joined us today. Daryl was excellent. Nathan was excellent. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Have a great Sunday. We're all in this together, my friends. Let's do it. So Monday's going to be a hell of a day. Let's go. Let's go, Browns. Let's go, Browns. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Come on.
It's not just a cup of coffee. You can't just order it up. No! Hey, I said it to you today. You can go back to the free Odyssey app at 8 o'clock and go listen to it then.
Do it for the
All
culture.
Right? I'm excited. I'm excited for this. Let's get the Browns going. Let's get this win. Let's set on a new trail of success for this football team, for this fan base, for this region. Let's reclaim Youngstown. Let's reclaim Canton. Let's reclaim Sandusky. Let's get it done tonight. Sunday. Let's get it done Sunday. Go out there to Vegas and take it. Take what's yours. Claim your destiny. Have a great night.
Vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka.